Hey everyone! We're finally back at it. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
What minute?
Emphasis on hot.
Yes,
Yeah, no kidding.
unfortunately, summer in Australia, so nice and hot down here.
Toasty.
In the 30 degrees
I'm
that's Celsius. Audie is sick. Things have been all over the place.
It's already
Life has been in
30
the way.
degrees and it's what, like the second day of summer? Fourth day of summer?
yeah.
Whatever. But
I have to be extra bundled up. I've got to wear a fuzzy thing because cold. I want to.
Whereas if it was appropriate, I would be nude.
I was going to say, I would have my shirt off if I could right now.
Anyway,
yeah, me too.
We're here to play Dungeons and Dragons.
So next week when we turn the cameras off, you know why.
Oh,
No, we'll just do a hot tub stream.
Or
Except it
just
won't
let
be a hot tub.
Ash
It's just gonna
and
be a-
Cullen go into a hot tub and do a hot tub stream. Just those two.
It'll be a meet the characters one.
No, clearly it's
your
full-side
character.
stream.
Yeah, poolside stream. Yeah,
Full-side stream.
oh wait,
Anyways,
hang on.
As
I
long
could,
as we can
I
have
could
margaritas.
totally arrange this. Hang on. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
So, I won't. I'll mute you though.
Excuse you.
We're playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We are playing the Trials of the Xel'nari. It's been a while, so a little bit of a recap is definitely in order. The party have woken up on a strange shore that Storm immediately recognized, but the rest of the party were a little bit more confused at the exotic location they have woken up in. Having weathered a storm, only just barely, and been knocked from their ship, they woke up to find themselves in a tropical island. Not a very welcoming one either by the locals. They were able to regroup, thankfully, before anything too bad happened, apart from the Sams, who did manage to have a little bit of a tussle with the priests of the island, who are known to flat out murder anyone who has come from outside, because it ruins their way of life and peace. The village on this island have been isolated by a storm that protects the island, constantly raging around it, stopping any from entering, and for the most part also exiting, with very few people from the village ever having left it. Storm being one of the very few, and indeed the only one other than bringing back Subtle as well to ever return. At least to her knowledge. She has reluctantly come here, not by choice, but there is a purpose. She has been summoned by the god of this island, who protects it. She does not know the reasoning behind her summons, and nor do the priests who have brought her here. They just know that he has requested her presence, and being a god, they are not one to question his requests. However, having seen outsiders with her, it was not the warm welcome that you would expect of someone returning from afar. The others have been forced to nominate one to stand trial to see if they are worthy of being on the island. Failure to succeed at the trial will mean that they will stand to be executed. And Thalai has heroically, foolishly, graciously, there's a number of different ways you could see it, stepped forward as the one to stand the trials, not knowing exactly what it is that he is facing. Meanwhile, Storm is preparing to descend into the mountain depths to face the altar and hopefully speak with Atua. And that is where we ended our last session. It's been a bit of a hot minute. And we will continue off. It is the morning of the trial and of Storm's journey into the depths of the mountain.
So we have smash cut to the following day.
Yeah, because we did go to the night, and I don't believe there was anything else that anyone needed to get done beforehand. But if there was, we can reverse it.
All
Get
good.
it in place.
Just confirming, because if it's a new day, it means I get the chance to change out a spell.
Yes, it
And
is a new
long
day,
rest.
and you can take a
Mhm.
long rest.
I'm not exhausted anymore.
Oh wait, I'll keep you up half the night then. There you go. Keep it even.
Hey Sam, squash.
Too bad
That's
it
why
was the
we
wrong
keep a
Sam.
spare Sam around, right?
That's what the double's for. Oh
Don't
my
you squash her. She's nice.
goodness.
Until
Right,
recently, he would have been very confused about which one that was.
Because that was never...
Yeah, because Thalai's only literally just been told.
Is that
Not
when we do
even-
the really condescending thing and put like a bow tie in Samantha's hair?
I was gonna say, technically, Thalai still has not actually been told. It was a very brief thing of "we'll explain later," and that has not happened yet.
No, we did. We
There
did at
was,
the end of last session.
Yeah, when Alice
it
was
was-
talking, we had the whole thing. So you see,
It
I
was
am
not a
actually
full
Samantha,
in-depth
and that is
story.
Samuel, but it was enough of the lie to stop misgendering them.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was not a full in-depth description and
Oh no,
detailed
no,
story.
no. We had the small little like, this is my brother, I'm my sister. Yeah, this is happening. You're going out there. That's the short. Oh, that's the long short of it.
I mean, if the poachers ever come after you again, then Thalai can just stand over you both and just be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 magic cup star."
I was gonna say that freaking Simpsons cross to the clowns.
Alright. So yes, Storm, you were offered the traditional robes of the priests that once belonged to you. Are you choosing to wear them or not? It is your choice.
She will wear them.
I'm guessing they look more formal than her regular attire.
They are similar in style to the clothes that you see the other monks wearing. It's definitely more flowing robes, designed especially for this the hotter climate that is on this island as well, but also freedom of movement and very traditional, kind of Tibetan in style, and mostly in purples. The colors that they choose.
Okay, so I feel like Kovac would approach Storm like right after she's done dressing, and she'd go, "Oh, these garments suit you. I'm impressed by their ability to achieve this color."
She scowls at you and goes, I don't know if that is a compliment or not, but this attire feels like a trap. More than...
I am merely commenting, as it is not dissimilar to the kind of attire you would see around my home.
Oh. For me, it is very uncomfortable because it feels like chains.
I imagine the chains are metaphorical or metaphysical.
I suppose
Right.
that's true.
Well, I am doing the rounds. We've been in quite a state, and I am finally getting around to sharing some of our recent acquisitions. Kovac pulls out 2 scrolls and says, "This one will make there be more of you in a fight, and this one will allow you to warp the mind of your opponent. Which one would you like?"
that sounds scary, pointing to the mind one. 'Cause I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I should be having this power. And that other one, I'm not sure if people could cope with more than one of me.
They are only illusions to distract your opponents. If someone is trying to strike you, there is a chance they will strike the pretend version of you instead. It is defensive.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, well, is there not anyone else who needs it?
I have two. The other one's going to Thalai.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'm sure it will come in handy.
Okay. I give Storm a scroll of mirror image.
Oh,
Indeed.
I'll add that to my inventory.
And she goes, right, and walks off. She passes by Sam and Mug and gives to each of them a spell scroll of phantasmal force.
Where did this come from?
It was acquired from the Demu soldiers that we were able to do best.
Ah.
I thought I best share what we had found, especially considering that I'm a bit concerned about how today's going to go.
Oh, that is
And
not
then-
an item.
I find it easy just to add a second level spell scroll and then just change the name to be the kind of spell that it is.
Gotcha.
And then finally she'll find wherever Thalai was resting for the evening.
Not too far from the others.
Okay. And she will say, "Good morning. You look optimal."
Morning. Feel well rested.
Excellent. These should assist you in the trials ahead. She hands you a scroll of mirror image and what was it? A potion of greater healing.
Puts the potion in the bag, but it's like, I thought you had to cast magic to use scroll.
If the Demu soldiers can use these, then so can you.
And I'll put that in the bag as well. So it was a potion of greater healing, was it, sorry?
Yes, because I am honestly gobsmacked at I'm about to thoroughly curse myself. I've taken a shockingly small amount of damage, just in general. So I don't need it as much as you do.
Ash just going.
Noted.
Says the person with a constitution score of 19.
Yes.
Yes, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And then she's just gonna circle back to the mouth of the cave, stare out in the general direction that she perceives the second spell book to be, and sigh.
Why am I so entertained by this? I'm sorry, y'all. So sorry. I'm so sorry in advance for what you're all about to witness.
What?
Nothing at all.
Okay,
It's
then.
definitely
I
not.
mean, like nothing at all.
Sounds
Nothing
like
at
someone's a
all.
bit distracted.
Maybe.
Stupid.
It's art imitating life, imitating art. Mug is going to try and find Thalai in the morning before the before the challenge.
It's not hard. It is not a particularly big cave.
Yeah.
Or it is fairly large and spacious, but it is very open and very easy to spot people.
So, Thalai, are you ready for what's ahead of you today?
I think so.
I had some time to think last night. And I spoke harshly, and I apologize. The only thing I can attribute it to is guilt. I feel guilty that you got kidnapped because of me. And I think I misplaced that.
No, that was not your fault. Not at all.
If I hadn't have decided to talk my way out of the situation, which didn't need to, if I didn't try to prove myself and make fun at someone else's expense, Sam and Kovac would not have stayed to keep me safe, which meant you would not have had to have gone off to lead the others away, which means my hubris caused you to be captured, and for that I'm sorry.
Thalai is going to put a hand on Mug's shoulder and just go, you did what you thought was best. You are good with your words, and in the past that has served you well. I'd bear no blame for you doing what you thought was best. Nor am I mad at the words you said last night. It is understandable, that response. I am proud. Sometimes too proud. And I know that.
We're now a hot tub stream.
Alice, you ruined the serious moment.
At the best of times. What are you on about? Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm bobbing along.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm sorry.
You are not sorry in the slightest.
Where were we?
You see that Mug looks genuinely surprised. He's normally fairly reserved with his reactions, but he's kind of like taken aback a bit.
I know that you are looking out for this group, just as I am looking out for this group, in our own ways.
But I think with what we are facing, if we fail, others pay the price.
That is the Xel'nari way, though, is it not?
Is it? I don't know.
If we fail at the task that we give ourselves to try and save others, then others do suffer, not just
Your
ourselves.
title is Xel'nari, my title is mercenary. It says so on the piece of paper that I signed.
I got a piece of paper. We got me tested.
You may have not done the trials, nor the training that we have done, but you still act in the spirit of a Xel'nari member, putting others' needs before yourself to serve a greater good. And that, in my eyes, is Xel'nari.
Thank you. That means more than I thought it would. Thanks. You'll probably need to get ready for the event, so I'll let you get prepared.
Thanks, Monk. Much appreciated.
Then he wanders off to like grab some food or something.
Yeah. Thalai is stripped down to his pants. Just because, and even you can see he's rested, but he's uncomfortable because it is warm. Like you would know that he would not normally be wearing shoes, but he's wearing the slippers. just to be on the safe side. They look comical on him because they have been stretched, obviously, to fit him. And it's a very odd sight because, Thalai either likes to wear his boots or go barefoot. Oh, okay, I see. We now have to, how do I change my background? This.
Hey, I'm happy I was the first one to do this.
I know.
User setting. The voice and video. We're all hot tub.
What was it? User setting, then
Voice and video.
voice and video.
And then just scroll down to see it. Alright. Though it's not directly said to you, you see the others, the priests and the monks, preparing breakfast, and it does look like they have set out food for you, though they do not specifically offer for you to come get some. They eat almost in silence. There is the occasional bit of chatter amongst them, but otherwise sit in silence and eat. Do any of you join them?
What's on the menu?
It looks like, from a distance,
Is it
an
wet food or
assortment-
dry?
waiting for
How much nip is sprinkled on?
Sorry.
It looks like an assortment of exotic fruits and vegetables that you've probably never seen before in your life. So you're not exactly sure what it is. There is, however, a few plates of fish and some crab as well that is being presented. It looks like they kind of presented a number of different things, not really knowing what you would eat. But again, yes, they do not actually specifically offer for you to come over. They've just
Well, here's
simply
the
put it up.
greatest thing of all. The best thing that we eat is for free!
Good berries.
I don't know how good.
I will go over, and I will take a little bit of everything to try and eat.
Same, actually.
Seeing people eating, I'll give a bit of a we thank you for your hospitality. It has not gone unnoticed.
There's a slight nod from Miss in the morning, but Breath there does not acknowledge you. He still seems to be a bit at ends with you.
Oh, he's been a bit catty, is he?
Kovic will find Storm and partially under a guise to encourage her to eat, but also out of a genuine need for information, she will just approach Storm and say quite bluntly, "They are serving food. I require further information."
Storm is not touching any of the food. Which you would know from her. She's usually pretty happy to just nom on whatever's there. Do you have any food in your hands, or?
No.
Okay. She just like.
She's trying.
Mm.
She wants you to go with her to the food.
Okay. Storm will go. The fish is good, or the purple one. I like the purple one. It's very delicious.
What is the nearest equivalency that you experienced off this island to the purple one?
Getting all the technical questions.
Also, is it purple fish or purple fruit?
You did just say the purple one.
It's a purple fish fruit. Did you not comprehend that?
Storm
You're
like looks
eating fish and spitting out seeds.
absolutely
It's the
perplexed,
slime.
and goes, "Don't worry, it's sweet. With little bite."
Come and show me what is good.
Okay.
Hey Ash, out of curiosity,
Okay.
because I forgot I had this thing until my brain reminded me. Is there any weird slurping coming from my bag by any
From your
chance?
spoon.
For any of these, the spoon?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yes.
Interesting.
All right.
Which items?
Thalai, you are. Oh, it is not that precise. Not unless you
Oh yeah, it's just a generic kind of like.
go over it a bit more consciously. Thalai, you are making your way through the platters put out in front of you. A number of them look like oddly coloured apples, or something that could be akin to a pomegranate or a papaya. But there is one that looks a bit strange to you. It is a spiky, husky, tan-coloured one.
Does its name start with D?
No.
Oh,
I was gonna say
Uh,
the really stinky fruit.
The Duran or whatever it's called.
The Duran.
Durian. It's just called durian.
yeah.
Duran.
But the song!
That is a harsh critique of a band. Well, how would you describe that band? Oh, they're old stinky fruit.
Husky, kind of spiky.
I'm sorry.
It is a tan color. It's got a almost like the husk of a coconut over it, but it is, although spiky in look, actually quite soft and feels almost juicy inside, like a mango.
So like a kiwi almost?
Almost like a kiwi, but the skin of it almost looks like it could be edible as well.
I will take a quick glance and see if anyone else is.
Roll me perception.
Oh boy. Oop. Nat 20 for a total of 25. What a time to get to nat 20.
That's very
Damn.
good.
Pretty good.
You don't notice anyone else eating it. However, you do notice there is a bit of a side eye you're getting from Breath, almost like he's waiting to see what happens. With a bit of curiosity on his face. Storm, you've come over, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm walking over with Kovac.
Then you definitely recognize this.
And I'd also be like, something slurping.
God damn it, Michael.
I hate you so much.
What?
I love so much that Iggly sleeping befell. Iggly sleeping buff? Oh, I know what I meant.
Storm will just look at Thalai and say, "Don't lick that one."
What?
Don't lick that one if you want to be able to do your trial. Or do it, could be funny.
It does have a very sweet smell to it. It does seem quite enticing.
Is the inside nice though?
Da! Inside is very delicious.
Not the skin.
Oh yeah, don't lick it. I learned the hard way.
Well, I trust you, and I'll just split it open and like scoop the flesh out.
Oh, you remember that the flower that I lick
Duh.
is like this?
Well, I'm happy I don't have your curiosity.
You notice that at this scene that nothing interesting has happened. Breath kind of gets up, gives a bit of a huff, mumbles something to himself, and walks out of the room, clearly hoping that you would just stuff your face and not even think of the consequences.
I'd say Kovac ends up with like half of a very purple papaya-like looking fruit, and just like gingerly picking at it with a spoon while flicking through her spell book and making occasional adjustments.
Kovac, the purple fish is quite nice. There's a purple fish there. It's quite nice.
Yeah, it's
This
not
is when we
purple on the
realise
outside,
that
it's purple on the
Thalai
inside.
is- I was going to say, it's when we find out Thalai is actually colorblind. Take this emerald! It's a ruby!
Storm, how are there such vibrantly coloured everything on this island? It's quite impressive.
They are gifts from Atua. Atua keeps our island prosperous and fertile and rich in, well, abundance.
Interesting. And would you perhaps derive dyes from a fruit such as this?
Da, from the skins we turn into like what do you say? Fiber? They like dry like hair.
Interesting. Kovac will like wave her hand over the center of the fruit and kind of like dry and make hover a section of the seeds and just like telekinetically pull them out of the plant and insert them in a vial and go,
But
this
also
may be of
makes,
interest to mother, and she'll put it away.
but also if you boil with fabric, it also takes color too.
Storm, by the way, your passive is enough for notice. As Kovac is levitating this, you notice that Mist has entirely missed her mouth with her spoon, and has kind of just stopped with it half falling from her spoon into her lap as she's staring at the fruit levitating in the air.
Storm laughs and puts her hand on Kovac's hand and goes, "You probably shouldn't do that here."
In cat, so not for Kovac to understand, but Storm. She looks to you and goes, "How? How does she do that?"
Storm turns to her and goes, "It is magic." Except that there's no word for it, so she goes, "It is" in cat, and then says magic in common. And also all you hear is "Bram rao magic."
Magic. What?
And in cat, she's like, "It's like mystical power that come from inside."
Is different from powder of gods?
Yeah. I think
She wields the wind like a tour.
this is not wind. This is. Hey, Kovac! What type
yes?
of magic is this?
This is telekinesis. It is a. You could put it under the conjuration school. Technically, I gesture down to my spell book, turn to the start and go.
She just stops you and goes, "I can't translate that, never mind." And goes back into cat and goes, "It's like mind can do what hands do. Not like wind, but like
She
invisible
shuffles
hands."
her chair around the other side of the table, moving
Is that
further away
away
from
or
Kovac.
toward?
Okay, fine. I'm going to make this just that bit more weird because I'm reading the body language. I will look down at like a platter of fish on my table, and I'll just pick it up and float it over and deposit it in front of her on her table.
Storm is stuck between trying not to laugh and also trying to give Kovac a stern look.
Do the rest of us see this occurring?
Yeah, I mean, if
Oh.
you've come over for food, you'd
Well-
definitely be seeing this
Yeah.
occurring.
Oh, do you like your fish hot or cold?
Oh no.
No,
I
I was
just-
asking the recipient.
Except that they don't understand you.
She doesn't understand you. She is looking slightly mortified, and you can see her tail is stretched out on end. The fur is bristled up. She does not look comfortable about this at all.
A telepathic message to Storm.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So,
Do they like spicy food? Nod for yes.
Yes, they would.
She goes,
I
really confused.
cast prestidigitation and add a bunch of like Tabasco hot sauce sort of spice to it.
She takes the next bite of her meal. She does not take the food offered to her, and just kind of cautiously is eating away at her food while staring at the plate, expecting it to suddenly come to life or something. She eats quite quickly and then gets up and, still facing the table, but also attempting to try and keep Kovac in her line of sight at the same time, which is not quite possible as she makes her way around and out of the room. Very clearly disheveled by it.
Storm's gonna do something when we've got a moment.
Kovac isn't normally one for pranks or practical jokes, but she's not thrilled about the way this society is running, and is doing her best to just feel things out. So as Mist in the Morning is like rounding a corner and glances back, I assume the fish I sent over in her direction is just like cut open, head and tail are both there still.
Mhm.
Okay, so just for an instant, if she glanced back to the fish, the eye blinks once.
Oh, God.
I cast minor illusion.
This is
we
not
are
going to have
not
any
about this
repercussion.
life.
Oh,
Does
This is not gonna
Storm
have any
notice this?
repercussions whatsoever.
I don't think Storm would notice it unless she was specifically looking at the fish. It
She
that's
was.
why
She
pretty
was
hard to
watching
notice.
this situation happen.
Yeah, you were more watching probably Miss than the fish itself.
Fair enough. Because the next thing she's gonna do is laugh and walk over to the table, sit down across from Breath of Air, pointedly. And just, like, start... No, she won't do that. And just, like, prod at the fish and just, like, start, like, cutting it up.
The fish that Mug made. Oh.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that he's made it taste like Tabasco.
She
Also-
doesn't plan on eating it.
Yeah.
She's cutting it up, and then she's going to put a piece of it on Breath of Air's plate.
Oh no. The
And
delegations
dare,
have got off to a
dare
bad
him to say
start.
no.
He looks at you, and there is a low rumble of a growl come from him. He does not seem impressed at all. He takes a few steps towards leaving, and then over his shoulder he goes, "Speak with Atua, and then be gone with you, and your pets, things, whatever you call them."
Try friends and family.
And he follows along behind Mist. towards their meditation mats.
Kovac will turn to Mug for a potential nod of approval because she was trying to channel some of his more chaotic energy in that moment.
What? Did something happen?
I made the plate float.
Ah, yes. Very good. Although the real piece de resistance would have been to get the fish to talk to their mind.
Storm, I'm sure, can hear them, and she just like leans against the table and says to them, "You know, you guys are not doing yourself any favors. They are not familiar with magic here. They are also they aren't even aware of my own abilities."
I saw fit to give them a gentle introduction. I didn't come in here.
Kovac, you forget they have spent thousands of years with none of this.
I know. All I did was make a few things float. I can do far more than that.
Yes, I know, but you have to remember they have never, in generations, seen things like this. You have to
It's like
remember to
sudden-
them, this is the power of the gods. Let them... let me talk to Atua and wait till after the trial before you start playing silly tricks. I think they're funny, but you're not winning any favors, and I would like it if you all survived.
Sam
Go
just
back.
chimes in, going like, "Yeah, what if you suddenly got introduced to indoor plumbing after using a hole in the woods for like thousands of years? It's basically the same thing."
My home has indoor plumbing,
Well, never mind.
and
Was that was only in Kovac's head, wasn't it?
No, this was out loud.
and
I mean,
steam-powered appliances.
we had no plumbing where I come. It's still amazing.
Oh yeah, there is no plumbing here.
Yeah, we know.
I'm
Mug's prestidigitation comes in real handy.
For Mug, it does.
I was gonna say, good luck convincing Mug to follow you out to the forest to clean up.
No, you
after.
see, the Sam's just changed into a bear to complete that joke.
Yeah. And we go shit in the hole anyway.
right.
And
But
so
during this, me and Sam have been like at the table, definitely talking in our own heads. I'm actually writing notes about the fruits, about the fruits and the food, like textures, the equivalents, and because we don't usually go places where they'll have a completely different like ecosystem. This is actually something that Sam gets quite excited about. Like, ooh, new flavors, new textures. What could this be? Maybe Mum could make it. Will this be good for? Basically, like, would Mum be able to make this into a jam, a chutney, or a marmalade? That's the kind of level of discussion that we're going down. Not doing it with the fish, of course. We're trying the fish, well, as I am. I'm not really writing notes about the fish as such, but I'm more like, yeah, maybe drawing it out and being like, right, so possibly not venomous for traveling things.
You'll find that all the foods that you try here are actually pretty rich in flavor.
They probably put that down to the very, because obviously the heat, temperature, the soil, everything's going to be different in this region. So even if we were to take because yeah, we've taken a seed or two. It's going to be a thing. We're going to try and see if we can germinate.
Yeah, germinate.
Maybe depends after the whole like we'll take a few. We'll check with Storm before we take them off the island. Sort of situation.
Next minute, we
biosecurity.
yeah, we introduce invasive species that wipes out local biodiversity back home.
What, we're going to bring a koala into this island?
I've already brought a rat. A foreign rat. But yeah, it's just that kind of little discussion and things like that we're having. But then the overall, because I'm an overthinker, Sam kind of is to a degree, is very much getting on the, oh yeah, if we start bringing this shit like outside of here, and then people start asking us where we got it from.
You could perhaps corner the market on selling it, and maybe your dad will say he loves you for the first time.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah. I'm gonna...
Oh!
I hoped I was going to time that for you taking a drink.
So here's the thing, I was like, but father doesn't love his assets. No, father does love his assets. But yeah, so we're just doing little discussions in the head. Taking a few seeds in a napkin or something, putting them away for later.
No.
Yeah.
After some time of you spending time eating, True Smoke steps into the area and looks towards Storm and towards Thalai. It is time. You must take the test, and you must speak with Atur now. I will
Yeah.
guide you down, but once we are down, you must walk the path alone.
Storm translates. He goes, he says it's time for you to go do your trial and for me to go walk the mountain.
Okay.
Welcome in, everyone. We're having a hot tub stream because it's toasty and roasty in fucking Ozland.
Sorry, I got rid of mine because it was making me disappear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that did look a little bit creepy.
Suddenly just, ah.
Well, we immediately have a hydrate.
It's good.
Oh, of course we do.
Hey.
We did say it was hot.
Hot and
Feeling
toasty.
hot. Doo-doo.
Do.
Yeah, mine keeps freaking out as well.
It is what it is with the things. Just before everyone heads off to their bits and pieces, and the Thalai is going to be
God.
separated from us.
Hydrate.
Oh, more hydrates.
But yes, welcome in. I hope your stream was good, by the way, Ajan. Thank you for reading us.
Yeah, I will go up to Thalai, and I'll be like, you could. Good luck out there, and then I'll pop crispy bacon. No, it's not called crispy. Say Francis. Sorry, so
Yeah.
Francis.
Francis Bacchian.
And I'll offer Thalai the bacon, the one piece I get per day.
Thank you. I know this means a lot to you.
Do I still have the barrel of specialty beer?
I think we lost all the beer.
That
Yeah.
got left behind.
We
after-
lost most of it, but that was just a small one because that was a
Yeah.
small keg. Yeah,
It was like 10 servings.
yeah. I believe you
Okay.
still have that.
Because if in that case, I would offer a. Because I've got listed 7 doses.
Because I do
don't-
believe you specifically said you wanted to keep that one on you rather than put it on the cart.
Yeah.
So when you lost the rest of it, you kept it.
Thalai,
Yeah.
to victory and the days ahead.
As much as it pains me, perhaps I should not drink trials.
Oh, this will make you feel strong and in control.
We're all mildly terrified.
You get a telepathic message. This makes you stronger and tougher. Don't tell the cats.
I guess one drink won't hurt. Then.
Yes.
12 drinks down.
Let's go!
I can do the trial. I'm just going to stand on this right. Falls immediately.
Except he's got the,
It hasn't even
slippers.
taken off yet.
Whoa,
yeah.
it's all going so wobbly already. You're on ground zero.
Yeah. So I will take a drink of that then.
I believe that was +2 strength and con for 1 hour.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Spicy.
I've had a drink as well.
It's very, very useful.
Yeah.
I forgot it was that drink.
Mm.
So is that... So that's just a flat +2 to your strength score and your con score, was it? For an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it increase con above 20, Ash?
Yes, it is a temporary modifier above, yes.
Ooh.
It's the good stuff.
What's
It's
that?
the
Damn.
good. It's the good Kush.
What's that? 7 more hit points?
7 more.
So...
If you just
It's-
add a modifier to your
Uh,
thing,
It's more about the saving throws.
Hmm.
that's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah, there
saying.
you go.
If you add a custom modifier to your
Yep.
con, it'll automatically adjust everything.
Yep. I now have a 22 Constitution score with a +10 to saving throws.
Very nice.
Freaking hell. Damn!
Wow.
Hey,
Gets hit
teamwork.
by a train, the train breaks.
Movie Hancock.
Yeah.
Alrighty. After announcing himself and saying that you should come with him, he does not even wait for you to get ready. He turns and starts walking towards the shrine.
Storm sighs and follows.
As you follow and step away, are the rest going with you, or coming out, or are you waiting?
I will follow Thalai's lead.
Yep. I'll
Hmm.
head towards where I was indicated to go. The trial area.
So wait, Ash, were you asking if we follow Thalai or Storm? Is that the
Yes.
question?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure none of us are going after Storm to like
Well,
the even more
actually, no,
sacred
God,
part
no.
of the temple.
Not even
I
trying.
don't know.
it this
I know
time.
you've got invisibility.
That's what I should have done to prank them. Turn them invisible.
Oh my god.
I mean, definitely a thing.
Oh god.
Yeah. If you don't believe in magic, you'll cease to exist, and then turn them invisible.
Subtle actually walks over with you, Thalai, and looks at you. No, you're. He's gone. He's gone. Come back.
God
Baby,
damn
come
it,
back.
Thalai.
Baby, come
At
back.
this pinnacle moment.
That's right. So
Baby, come back.
Smoke leads you over into the central prayer circle that you are very familiar with. You've been a number of times through your teachings, and he walks over to a statue at the back, which, for as long as you've been told, it is a statue of a Tua, or some kind of effigy towards him. Having never actually seen him, you have no way of knowing that if that is true, but it is believed to be a visage of him. It is very. It's carved of stone. It's sharp angles and edges. It's more like a tiki totem of sorts, of faces, depicting storms and swirling winds around him. He leads you over to it and gestures for you to come closer.
She just follows him. She's like being unusually obedient, but she's like, alright, let's get this over with.
Place your hand upon the center pedestal.
Okay.
As soon as you touch the pedestal, there is a feeling of weightlessness in your body. Almost like that feeling of suddenly jerking in your chair backwards like you're going to fall.
So
But
not
instead of
like her
backwards,
levitate
it's
spell.
No, instead of backwards, it's forwards, and you feel like you almost fall into the stone. But when you feel like you're about to hit the stone, you just pass into darkness suddenly. And I will move us down.
Oh my.
As your
Getting
vision comes
spooky.
clear again, you find yourself in a almost pitch black room. There is the smallest amount of light in here, but you can't quite tell where it's emanating from. There does not seem to be any sources of light. The ground beneath you seems warmer, however, and the tunnel itself seems to be quite hot as well.
Storm goes to instinctively conjure fire in her hand, and then snuffs it immediately. Remembering that the people don't actually know that she has magic.
Mhm.
Well, she doesn't believe it as magic, but abilities.
As you look around, you see the form of True Smoke almost sliding out of the ceiling as his body slowly descends to the ground. And he, after a moment, opens his eyes and looks around for a second as he adjusts to the darkness of the room, and then looks at you. I have guided you in, but from here you must go alone. Take the left path ahead.
Why?
Do
What's in
not
the right path?
Take the right path. For you, certain death.
What? So what you're saying is I should definitely go right, yeah?
At this, he almost smirks slightly and goes, "It is your choice."
You're no fun.
And we never saw Storm again.
Fine, I will go left.
Hey, this is Storm's twin sister, Ruffle.
I just
believe
figure
it.
she's going to come back from the cave with only like 8 lives left.
3. Let's be real here.
It has been generations before one other than the voice has spoken with Atua. The others do not know of it, but you are not the first. But
Most curious.
I am curious to see if you are the first who survives it.
Oh.
It'll be fine. How bad can it be?
Taking bets. Who's taking bets?
We know not why he has summoned you, but I wish you the best.
Oh, you know, there is probably reason. She's gonna like hide her paws behind her back, twirl her hands, and make wind ruffle past him.
At this, he immediately looks down the hall, as if concerned.
We're gonna hydrate. Hey, Jester.
Nice. Hi, Jester.
He almost visibly looks concerned. And he goes, I must attend to the trial now.
Sure, good luck. I promise maybe I won't go right.
Go forth, young one. And he steps over towards a pedestal between you both that has a smaller effigy of Atua on it, and hovers his hand above it, but stops to watch you, to see that you actually go on your path.
She starts walking, probably only about yay far, before she turns back to him and goes, Did you and my mother ever walk this path together? Or did you only take over after she passed?
It was sudden, unexpected. There was not time to do the proper rituals. I have walked it alone.
I see.
I would not keep him waiting.
She like shrugs, goes, he's waited this long, what's another few minutes? Before skipping along and like heading off ahead. She is going to be careful though, because she has an idea of where she is.
Do you look back at all?
Nope, not after she's looked back that first time. She just moves on.
No worries. Alright, we'll jump back over. Seeing as somebody was away when I was trying to talk to him about what he does.
I'm sorry, I had to open up things so I can
That's
actually
fine.
breathe in this room.
It's fine. You're allowed to breathe.
Breathing is overrated.
How dare
You're allowed to
you
breathe because you may not be able to after this.
Oh boy.
So Subtle walks alongside you as you enter the chamber, and he looks to you. Are you prepared?
I believe so.
You notice there's also a slight difference in his voice. A little bit more, less confidence, nearly. Almost like there is genuine concern.
Growth?
Remember, you are only required to stay for 1 hour.
Let's see what I can do then.
I will tell you now, almost every monk before you fails their first attempt. Most do not last more than 20, perhaps 30 minutes.
Well, the day's getting on. I guess I should get started.
They'll be over shortly. And he moves to the back of the room.
Just before he does back though, I will say, thank you, Subtle.
He just nods. You notice that he's looking over his shoulder, seeing the rest of the monks approach now, and that kind of hurries him along.
Yep.
He moves off from you. The others enter and move to the far side, not speaking with you or the others. They seem to be in almost complete silence.
Was one of these three the one that I heard speaking common previously?
So Breath of Air, who seems to be in charge, is the one who seems
Okay.
to be capable of speaking common.
As Breath of Air is passing by, I will, like, while looking up at the height of the space, go, so, where are the safety nets?
At this, he smirks. Of course, outsiders would require protection. There is no safety. If you fail, you fall. Then a tour decides whether you survive.
Interesting. And I'll...
How would you outsiders say it? Be like a cat, land on your feet. And at this, he seems to take great delight at his own joke.
Yes, that was hilarious. And I'll walk away.
Is there possible to find a place within like 30 feet of where Thalai is going to be?
Nope.
From where he starts, yes, but he will be raised over 120 feet into the air.
Yeah, I thought so. No, in my brain, I'm just thinking I can get him a re-rolls if I'm close enough, but nah.
I do want to offer encouragement as they're about to start lifting the chains up.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, no, not 120. It'd be closer to 80.
I honestly thought you were going to say 500.
280 feet, Ash?
80.
Oh, 80 feet, okay.
Yes, 80
okay.
feet.
That's survival.
120 is the height of the chamber itself, but the thing does not go to the
No,
top.
the problem with 80 feet is that you'll hit the ground, you'll bounce back up into the air and take more falling damage the second time around.
Don't forget the splat.
Amazing.
All right.
Love a good splat, Angel.
I assume Mug and Sam are coming over, so I'll move them over there.
So yes, as they're lifting the... Is it lifted by chains, was it?
Yes, there is an apparatus that is hoisted by chains that allows it to raise. They are not lifting it yet. They are waiting for True Smoke to come in.
Has Storm actually like disappeared, or is she still there?
You are down in the underbelly, moving on. They don't know what happened to you. They also weren't in that chamber to see you touch the stone.
No,
so
there is no one in that chamber, I think,
Yeah.
to find out if you're physically there, if your body is different.
Fair enough.
Smoke seems to hurry in, almost like he's late to get things started. He raises his arms and starts speaking again in Cat, so not anything that you would understand unless anyone does wish to expend a spell slot.
I'll whip out my wand and and quickly cast comprehend languages.
Upon you doing that, in Cat, you now hearing it as if common, he turns to you and goes, "We have said no magics here. Do you dare disobey the will of Atua?"
I look to Breath of Air and say, I only wanted to understand what was being said. I can now.
Roll me a persuasion.
Oh God.
Do you want Mug to smile and nod?
Yes, please, I would. That is a 15.
You got this. You got this.
Yeah. Well, I rolled a 1, so yes, you do got this. Breath raises his arm to calm True. He only wishes to comprehend. Sorry, she only wishes to comprehend. Let's go back.
I'm a lady.
They're misogynistic.
Smoke looks suspiciously over at Kovac, but then again tries to hurry things along. Then translate for your friend. They must stand upon that platform for at least 1 hour.
You must stand upon the platform for at least 1 hour.
It is a simple task.
They think it's simple. I'm not convinced.
However, a fall from this height may prove fatal. He seems sturdy enough.
Remember to tuck and roll if and when you fall. It's not going to be an easy drop.
He is only required to last the hour. But if he so chooses, he may withstand longer.
You only have to be there an hour, but you can stay as long as your proud Goliath heart insists.
Genuinely surprised he translated that part. Very well, it will commence now.
What? One question. What if he wishes to withdraw? After the hour has passed, of course.
He may need only speak it after the hour. Before that, and it is, well, not going to be much of a problem.
Tell them to let you down when you're done.
Okay.
You got this, big guy. The power of the bacon.
Don't give him a reroll now! Don't need it.
Hey, thanks,
Yay.
Bez.
So that's the power of the bacon. That's the power of the bacon right there.
Thalai, we all believe in you. You can do this. You have bardic inspiration for the first 10 minutes.
Just call out every 10 minutes. I still believe in you.
No, they have to be within 60 foot of me.
I know.
What dice is that one again? Sorry?
A D8, I believe.
A D8.
Don't think it changed with the level up. D8. Yep.
D8. Alright. Not a problem.
Thank you, Fez.
Take a face. Oh.
Alright. The platform. I assume you have already taken your place upon it. Yes.
Yeah.
The platform begins to raise. Despite the grinding of the chains slowly moving around, it does move up fairly stably. It's not like it's jerking all over the place, so it's quite easy to keep your balance as it ascends. After the first about 40 feet, you start to really hear the winds picking up inside the cavern. It's not till you get to about 60 feet that you can almost visibly see the cutting winds coming through the slits in the cave wall. You can see light trickling in from outside, where some of it looks like it was natural and some of it looks like it has been deliberately crafted to funnel the winds from the top of the mountain in through this chamber and create basically a wind chamber to concentrate it. You imagine, looking at it though, that something a bit more is going on. It's not enough that it would create cutting winds as they have claimed, but you can see the effects of weathering on the stone around here, and even the chains up at this height show visible signs of wear and tear, and a little bit of maintenance where they have replaced some of the chains. So the winds are definitely capable of cutting through the steel that is used here, or iron probably more likely. As you move up the last 20 feet, you can really feel the wind buffeting at your body. And there's almost a howling sound within the wind, almost like a voice speaking to you. You can't quite make it out. But it does not seem to have good intentions towards you. You feel something about it feels unearthly, that it wants to rip you from this platform. And as you are thinking this in your mind, you feel almost like a blade slicing into your arm. And I'll get you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
So it begins.
Thank the beer.
That is a 19, Ash.
Okay. Yep. You look down to see that there is an obvious cut or mark against your armor. Not enough to sever.
I'm not wearing armor.
Oh, you're not wearing your armor. Oh, in that case, you will.
I'm not wearing the armor because the armor is very,
This is true.
I feel like it would be a bad thing on a balancing platform to wear.
You did make your save though, so you look down to see a cut in your skin. You didn't see anything actually strike at you, but you felt the wind slicing past you. because you saved, you only take 2 damage.
What type of
nothing fair.
damage? Sorry, is this cutting?
Slashing, yes. Yeah.
Just making sure if it's not cold, because I also have resistance to that. So
Yes. Don't worry, that will probably come along later.
yes.
As you can feel that, yes, the top of this chamber, despite the heat in the rest of the cave from the tropical atmosphere, inside the top here, the temperature is definitely plummeting. Something you're a bit more accustomed to, and you feel probably a little bit more at home in it than most others would. But it's definitely starting to feel a bit more like home. As the platform shifts into place, there is a moment of jarring as the platform stops, and not enough to dislodge you, but it seems that now officially the trial has begun. You have moved into position. Sam, you
Yes.
have enough passive perception to notice a bit of movement down below. Can you roll me a perception check, though, to see if you notice what actually is happening?
Yes. I'm gonna roll my tiny dice. Because I am tiny person.
Whilst everyone else is
D20.
looking up above, you also have the height disadvantage to see a little bit lower than everyone else.
Where's my character sheet? Perception. Oh, if only I rolled higher than a 4. But overall, 1, 2, it's 11.
Okay. You take
I'm
a
not
quick
gonna roll
look
tiny
around.
dice anymore.
You don't really notice anything out of place at first. Everyone's staring up. Just must have been someone moving around. You're not sure.
I'm looking from up and back to the ground, while also kind of like walking from where I am around to next to Sam, Mug, and Samuel. I'm doing the maths on exactly how long I think it would take for Thalai to fall from the platform to the ground.
Okay.
And I'm going over in my head the verbal component of Featherfall and trying to basically do the maths to see how easily I could cast Featherfall in the last possible moment before he hits the ground, so the fall looks convincing, but Thalai isn't as hurt.
I get
So
what you're doing there.
Yes, and when I get like behind Sam, I'll bend down next to her and whisper into her ear, "I need someone to scream if Thalai falls." No.
Why? What was your weight again?
Kovic, do you want the answer?
My weight.
Yes.
I weigh 300 pounds, and I'm only wearing my clothes plus a couple of items, so I would say about 302 pounds total.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Okay. I'm just looking at the splat calculator. Is a real thing.
It's always a thing you want to hear.
Roll me an investigation or insight.
Oh boy, I'm good at those. Come on, baby. Oh, God damn it.
It has already been stated, but yes.
14. Let's roll higher than that.
You're doing quick maths in your head.
Yeah.
A bit concerned. You estimate it between 2 to 3 seconds
And
from him starting to fall at least, to hitting the ground.
I am perfectly willing to actually produce from my side a piece of paper and do more thorough maths. Like as I'm standing there.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Kovac is too busy actually doing mathematics to notice the
Yeah, so about
like,
2 to
got
3
it!
seconds.
Oh,
It is.
shit.
It is quite a sudden drop with a very sudden stop.
Yes. She will err on the side of caution when casting the spell, and if it comes down to her not being sure if the fall will be convincing, or allowing him to splat, she will allow him to splat if she's concerned that her casting will be suspicious. Because this has to look as legit as possible, but she's worried and is just trying to be a safety net, just in case.
Is Featherfall
Reaction.
Its reaction, it just has
It is-
verbal and material components.
material? So there is the verbal
I-
component.
Yes, exactly. So I can hold a wand behind my back and ask someone to scream to cover the sound of my spellcasting when if he falls.
Okay.
Oh, if if Thalai is falling, I think we're all screaming.
Maybe a little bit.
So
Oh my gosh.
that is my contingency plan. I am continuing to glance up and attempt to refine my calculations as time goes on. But that is the majority of her concentration right now.
Fly, can I get you to make me an acrobatics check?
Oh boy, I'm so good at those.
As the ground you are standing upon is uneven, but you will have advantage on this because of your
Cheating.
boots of spider climbing. Yes, you're cheating. Whilst they are helping you stay attached, you're definitely feeling the winds buffeting you about.
Acrobatics at
Yes,
advantage. Well, thank God for the advantage. That's a 19.
Okay, what was it otherwise?
A 10.
Okay, yes, that would have been a fail.
That would have been
Yeah.
Splat City.
You can definitely start to feel it buffeting, and you are definitely feeling it slowly, ever so subtly, picking up its speed. Again, you can almost hear whispers in the wind, as if something or someone is calling out to you.
What I want to do, as much as Thalai can, rather than relying on acrobatics, he would rather rely on endurance when it comes to like forcing against the kind of thing, because that's where his strength lies. Even if it's harder, he is more likely to succeed on trying to duck and weave, if that makes sense.
Coming closer to the 10-minute mark is probably your first chance to really use brute strength over dexterity. Then, as you hear again the voices calling out, and this time it seems almost like a scream in your ears as it comes howling past you, and it's wind, so you can't see it, but you almost think you can see the wind forming into a hand, a massive palm, and come flying straight towards you. You can attempt to brace.
I would like to brace. Yes.
All right. That will be a athletics check then.
Athletics. Yep. Flat roll, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Natural 20 for a total of 29.
Oh!
Nice. That's our boy.
It hits you with a force, and you feel like you've been hit, but like back in training, getting hit by a hammer, or fist fights with some of your clan back in the day. It is a solid thunk to your chest that almost takes the wind out of you, but you have braced yourself against it and managed to hold steady. But it is definitely something you were not expecting from simple wind up here. There is definitely more at play than just wind tunnels.
You're saying I can hear voices, correct?
It sounds like voices.
I want to listen out as much as I can. Like, this is secondary, so fair enough, penalty or whatever. I want to listen out and see if I can understand the voices, if that makes sense.
Roll perception.
Yep. Is Hello, Bardic Inspiration lasts for about 10 minutes, doesn't it?
10 minutes. Yes. So it's coming up to the 10-minute timer. So
yeah, today, when they're coming up at the 10-minute timer, I am going to use it.
Mhm.
That is a total of 23.
Okay.
Ooh.
You strain to listen out. The winds howling around you make it extremely difficult to make out anything. It definitely sounds like voices, though you are not able at this point to make out what the words are or even the tone of who is speaking.
Okay.
Alright, we'll pop on downstairs for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Leave you panicking.
It's fine. I've got it.
He got this.
You heard the dude. He got this.
So Storm,
Go get water.
Oh
you've
boy.
moved on a little bit. As you are moving through down here, you can definitely feel the temperature starting to pick up. It's a dry heat that's all around you. It almost feels like there's next to no moisture in the air.
Let me just.
There is a very eerie silence down here as well. The only sounds you hear is the occasional shuffling of your feet along the ground, but even that is muffled. The stone around you is blackened and charred. You would probably recognize it as being volcanic in nature. But definitely darker in tone than the stone of the mountain above. What do you do? You can barely make things out in here. It's extremely dark.
She's gonna at this point look around and make sure she's on her own.
Mhm.
And
Roll me a
when she
perception.
is, she will.
Roll me a perception with disadvantage.
Oh boy. Okay, we have dice. Ah. 13.
Okay. You look around. You look back towards the stone. The stone is slightly more illuminated than the rest of the cave, and you can see that where True Smoke was standing before, he has disappeared.
Okay. She's gonna light her hands on fire.
Okay.
Like,
Gives you
just hold, like, a little bit of light.
a bit of illumination in the darkness. Even then, it almost seems slightly unnatural, but it doesn't seem to give off as much light as you would hope it to.
I presume she's taken nothing in with her other than maybe what was on her person, as opposed to what would normally be in, like, her backpack.
Okay.
So, like, I doubt she would take her whole, like, pack with her down here.
Okay.
So she's carrying pretty light. I presume she might have her quarterstaff with her, but probably not any other weapon. No, she has the claws on her hands. I'll
Good
think
thing
about it.
them being gauntlets.
Yeah. She probably still has her quarterstaff, just because that's her comfort, so to speak. But yeah.
No.
She'll keep walking. But she probably doesn't have, like, her lantern and all of those sort of things, so she'll just use her hands. Yeah.
As you make your way forward, you get closer to a bend, and as you come around the bend, you almost immediately feel the temperature rise by about 5 to 10 degrees. And you see a small glow ahead. Something else is illuminating the hall ahead of you.
Okay, she'll start walking across up to here. Oh, you're already moving her.
Well,
bad.
I figured I wasn't sure if you were moving us.
No, you do it, because that's easier to say, like, where she gets up to.
As you make your way around the bend, the next area is still dark, but definitely a bit more illuminated. You enter into a fairly large cavernous area, and it turns out the light that is being emanated from here is small bubbling pools of lava. They do give a little bit of light, enough for you to see the expanse of the cavern, it being quite large, especially in height. And you do see a path off to the left and a path off to the right up ahead.
Okay. She'll sort of walk up to, like, here, I presume.
Mhm.
Does it look like there's any threats of any kind, or is it just the lava?
I'll get you to make me another perception.
Oh no, the floor is lava.
The floor is indeed lava.
The only threat here is the floor!
Is this with disadvantage again, or...?
No, there is enough light here now that you can make out most things. There's still some corners and shadows that make it a bit hard, but there's considerably more light in this area.
I wish I could roll more than 10. 15.
Oh, that's a damn shame. You're not seeing any obvious signs of danger. If there is anything here, it's concealing itself well.
Okay. She will sort of keep on alert because she doesn't know what to expect, but she'll keep on plodding through. She'll sort of head up to about here.
Just keep plodding.
All right. Both paths, either side of you, wind away further into the depths of this area. Both at a slight slope downwards. So definitely descending further into the mountain. I can see your mind debating what they should do.
She is so curious about the right side. And she's not the kind of character to, like, want to follow instructions as she's been told. The fact that they've said, don't go right, you'll probably die, just made her more curious. Is there a rock around nearby? Hey, we gotta follow. She's
Yes, there is a nice big rock right ahead of you. It's actually a pillar that connects up into the ceiling above.
Oh, I was talking like a small rock.
There's a number of them about. Yes, definitely. There's a few around.
She's gonna pick it up and throw it down the hallway to the right.
Okay.
And see what happens.
It echoes and clinks off the cave floor as it bounces its way down. It's a very eerie through cutting into the silence of this area. But you don't notice anything happening other than it just coming to a rest.
She's like, there is more at stake than my curiosity. Come on, Storm. Just do what you need to do. It's fine. We can come back later. Yeah, we know how to come back here now. We can come back later. It's fine. It's not so important. We don't need to know what's down there. It's okay. It's okay. She says out loud as she starts walking this way. To the left.
As you start walking this way, you feel and hear a sudden surge of wind in the otherwise completely still atmosphere come from the right-hand side, pushing you almost. It's not strong or anything, but it is. You can feel it kind of push against your back as if guiding you further down to the left.
Yeah. Okay, don't be so impatient. Jeez, I'm coming. I'm on my way. like trudges, dragging her feet as she goes down the hallway. like petulant child resisting being pushed from behind.
The path continues on. As you start making your way towards the end of the chamber, you again feel the heat rising again, but then drastically dropping in temperature as you feel a gust of wind against you, but then rising again as it passes. And this happens several times as you make your way closer.
Okay.
As you come around the corner, you see a strange sight before you. There is what is clearly meant to be an opening into the chasm. However, there is a almost fully opaque. There is just a little bit of transparency to it, but it's almost like a red membrane of some description, almost like a plant or some kind of growth has covered over the entrance. You see tendrils pulled taut, reaching out from the center of this membrane and different parts of the membrane into the ceiling and to the ground, almost like latching onto areas. It does not seem natural, and it does not seem of this place. It's nothing you've ever seen,
Is
and you
it
don't recall any
covering
plants
the
like this.
entrance or something?
It is completely covering the entrance. There is no way to get through it.
She's sort of just walked up, like, close to it, maybe not, like, super up to it, and just, like, does it move at all? Does it seem to react to her?
No, it doesn't seem to react at all.
She's gonna dispel the fire in her hands and just, like, gust some wind towards it. Does it move?
No, your wind just buffets off it. Through the membrane, you can just slightly make out the glow of the room behind. It seems that there is a lot more magma in the room behind. It seems to be quite a large chamber as well. And there seems to be some kind of squall, a storm of sorts, in the center of the room. You can see bolts of lightning striking out from the center of it every now and then, but the bolts are red, not orange or blue or anything you would normally expect to see. And the storm itself seems to be a swirling mass of clouds, but they too are a tinge of red.
She's gonna grab her quarterstaff and poke the membrane.
As you poke at it, there's a moment of resistance as it presses in slightly, and then as you go to pull it away, it almost clings to it, and you can see little tendrils of it starting to move its way up the tip, but you do manage to pull it away before it can get a proper grip of hold of it.
Okay. She's gonna, like, just spray a little bit of water at it and see what happens. Does it sizzle pop?
No, it just harmlessly splashes against it.
Okay, but does it seem like more on the solid side? Does it seem like tacky? Does it seem solid?
It seems, looking at
through?
it without touching. No, the water just splashes against it, same
that's
as
what-
your. When you push your staff against it, it did have a little bit of give, almost elastic-like, like putting cling film across an opening or a cover, kind of like that.
Okay, so it's got like almost a sense of elasticity.
Yep.
She's gonna sigh and just go, well, if this is where I'm meant to go, here goes nothing. And she just walks straight at it.
Okay. Can I get you
This is
to
gonna end
please
very badly.
make me a strength saving throw, please?
Oh,
as
very
you
badly.
make contact with it. At first, it does the same thing as your polearm. It kind of gives a little bit as you kind of press in against it, and then you can feel it clinging and grasping at your fur, attempting
no.
to almost make you part of it.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what this is, but Storm doesn't. Oh, actually, she might. Didn't we encounter something like this under the well where we found Mug?
No.
You mean when Mog found us?
You encountered
Oh, we were looking
Column A,
for
column B.
boots.
you encountered slimes and gelatinous cubes in the sword,
Okay.
but this is not like that.
Okay, okay.
Strength saving throw, please.
14.
Okay. You attempt to pull away from it as it starts to grasp onto you. You are not successful, and it starts
She's not.
starting to envelop you more and more. And we'll come back to you in a moment.
Okay.
Maybe you and I should have swapped Storm. I should have gone down to this activity, eh?
Except
she
that
can
there was
literally
no
cheat
choice.
at this.
Yeah, literally.
No.
There's a reason why she can do this for days.
No, if you really want to be optimal, have Storm do the challenge on top and have Mug go talk to God.
Yeah. Maybe Thalai just to help make sure Mug gets to God first.
That's fine. You can nod and smile.
Like, it's just a weird, like, demented, like, half smile. Like, yeah.
Thalai.
Yep.
You've been up here for coming up to about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Around about the 15-minute mark is where you start to hear the voices again. And it really feels to you like they are saying something to you. You're just not quite hearing it. Sorry, little gnat. Hearing it over the howling of the wind as well, as it cuts at you. It seems to almost scream out in a moment, and there is almost a deafening moment of the wind howling past you, and you can feel it cutting at you repeatedly. Now, you're not in armor at the moment, are you? So what is your AC unarmored?
My AC is 10, because I don't have a shield with me either.
Oh, that's not good. Okay. You feel it lash out and strike at you. Four gusts of wind cutting into your arms and your chest as you hold your ground against it. You take 14 points of slashing damage as it cuts into you.
Yep. Ouch. That hurt.
And I'll let you make another check to see if you can distinguish the sounds.
Perception? Yep.
Mhm.
That is a 21.
Okay. At first, you strain out and try to listen, and at first, all you start to hear is distinguishable words. Pathetic. Worthless. You will never amount to anything. And then one hits home that makes you start to recognize the voices. You should never have been chosen. It was a lie.
Oh, God.
You're unworthy. And as you hear the "you're unworthy" again, you see the cloud of air forming into, this time, a fist, and comes rushing into you again. How do you wish to brace against it?
So it's coming up to strike at
It's
me.
trying to punch back at you again, like last time when the palm hit you, so you can attempt to be agile and bend with it, or brace hard against it with your
I am
athletics.
going to brace hard.
Alright. Athletic saving throw, please.
Athletic saving throw, sorry?
Sorry, athletics check. Sorry.
Athletics check. Sorry, I just like...
Yes, sorry.
That is a 19.
Alright, yes. Yet again, you brace against it, and you feel it hit with more force than last time. Like it is trying as hard as it can to rip you off your platform. Your shoes definitely assisting with keeping you attached and afloat, but your natural strength alone is also enough to resist it for the moment. You're definitely starting to feel the intensity pick up, however.
Yep.
But yes, you recognize these voices. These are the voices of your kinsmen.
I am going to say to myself under my breath in giant, the actions of my past do not define who I am, but what I have achieved since then has proven I can do. But he doesn't sound so sure either. What he heard has definitely rattled him.
Can I get you to make me a charisma saving throw then?
Oh boy!
What?
I rolled a 2 for a total of 1.
Well, at least it's not a nat one.
I think it still
You-
failed.
Your resolve falters for a moment. You'll have disadvantage on your next check or save.
Yep.
Yep. Again, the winds pick up. Several minutes more passing as you keep your balance and feel the buffeting against you. And then the voices return again of liar, cheat, unworthy. What you did betrays us all. You did not deserve to be among the Xel'nari. You should die! And as it calls this one out again, you feel the air cutting in against you.
I come in to die? What's happening?
Buffing it against you like razor blades, and ooh, that is 2 critical hits.
Oh, whoa!
Oof. The first one hitting for 24.
I'm going to use my reaction to do stones and jets on
I
that.
figured that might be the case.
Of course, I roll a fucking 2 on the d12.
Oh no.
So that is a total of... I reduced that by 8. So how much was that again, sorry, Ash?
24 for the first
So
hit.
16 now. Yep.
And 21 for the second hit.
I can't do anything about the 20. What I would like to do then on my turn as a bonus action is do a second wind.
Yep.
Fair enough. Try and regain your resolve.
Oh, that's a much better roll. That is a 9 on the dice plus 7, so that's a total of 16 healed. Which is good because I just went from 36 to 52 with that.
For those of you down the ground, for the most part, you've seen Thalai holding his ground pretty well. You can definitely see the effects of the wind buffet him as his body sways back and forth. And you can see the chains being dragged back and forth and the platform swaying back and forth. But something definitely seems to have changed in the last few moments. He is swaying more. There's a moment where he actually has to move his foot to keep his footing, even with the boots. And you see him almost, not necessarily double over, but you can definitely see the effects of something hitting at him as if striking him. It does not seem like everything is going perfectly up there.
Mug will turn to Kovac and go, "Is there any way you can make me fly or levitate closer to him?"
Carry the one. What? No. What did you have in mind?
If I can get close to him, I can help him.
They'll see you.
That's cheating.
Not if they can't see me.
Touche.
All I can suggest is a bit of rock climbing on your part.
We shouldn't be interfering with this. They already knew when you were using magic earlier.
I can be subtle about it, but Mug, if you're going to do this, you need to excuse yourself from the chamber first.
I don't know if they'll let us.
You're right. True Smoke is guarding the door.
Are there any perching points higher in the chamber, like where the chains are attached or anything like that? Anything within like 30 or 60 foot of the platform where he's on?
Roll me a perception, actually, having a look at that. There are definitely some lower, but from the angle you're at, it's a bit harder to make it out from up there.
What's a perception?
Oh, dear.
It's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, you see some areas, definitely where the chains are coming out of the rock. You imagine you could possibly use that as a footing, or at least a way to hold on and lean against the hole. But as for a good solid ground to stand upon, you can't. You're not making it out from down here.
Yeah. Because, okay, here's the plan that I'm thinking of, which is like all the plans that Mug comes up with, spectacularly bad but workable.
If it goes off, everyone will be like, "Oh!" If it doesn't, everyone's like, "Well, of course."
So, excuse myself from the chamber, cast invisibility, walk back in, dimension door to the top of the cavern, within 30 or 60 foot of Thalai, preferably 30, I think. So 60 foot I can give him Bardic Inspiration, 30 foot I can counter charm, again, saving throw against being frightened or charmed. So if he's fearful, but it's a bit of an all or nothing.
Because
what we've got is all or
yeah.
nothing.
Because if you're invisible and you begin casting a spell, you'll become visible again.
Oh yes, that stops that whole plan. So I can't dimension door.
I mean, you could dimension door from outside of the chamber because you can point an area you know of to teleport to.
No, but I won't be. I'll be appearing there visible.
I'd
have
you'd
to
have to find a place
door
where,
and then cast invisibility.
or appear somewhere that's out of sight.
Yeah.
Where's the attention of all of the monks in the room? Are they just focusing up?
Yes. Actually, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 21! Oh, okay.
As you scan around the room to have a look on them, Tough Feather, Breath of Air, and Mist in the Morning are definitely focusing up. As is Subtle. He's lesser of the monks at the moment, but you don't see True Smoke. He's not there anymore.
When did I see him last?
When he first started the ceremony was the last time you recall actually looking over and seeing him.
Where's True Smoke?
So while Covert was kind of scanning that, I was actually going to be scanning back down again, because it's the whole thing of like, there's obviously something else odd going on, so I was trying to scour below. It's like, that little notion of something hasn't gotten out of Sam's brain, so I wanted to have another little, like, looky-loo during that time, if that's alright.
Roll me another perception then.
Using a different dice gets me a better number. That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, you notice the one thing that is different here is that True Smoke is gone, and you think that that's maybe what you saw out of the corner of your eye? Was him disappearing out of the room?
Hmm.
You did see some movement, but you just didn't notice it.
Yeah,
True Smoke, was that the speaker of...
The one that escorted Storm.
Yeah, I think Smoke was down there. Near the beginning? I don't know. This is said kind of in your head. It's like, there was something near the beginning of this, and I didn't quite catch it. Maybe the two are linked?
Mug, how obvious is it when you cast Sending?
I need to speak.
I see.
Do you need a message sent somewhere? I can step around the corner.
I'm concerned about Storm. Why would True Smoke have left?
I'm wondering if it's more to do with our big guy.
Potentially. However, True Smoke might be paranoid. It was mentioned that he was the only one who spoke to this god of theirs. If he's feeling his position is threatened, perhaps he's going to take steps to do something about that against Storm.
Did we say that we wouldn't go down below parts of this temple? Because if we did, it's a pity your owl is so curious. I mean, like, you can barely control Wisteria at the best of times.
Such a pity.
Did you do a class on plausible deniability?
Yes, I did.
Excellent.
A+.
The only type of lying that Kovac's good at.
I'm going to turn to Wisteria, who this entire time has just been perched on my shoulder, and I'm just going to say into her head, get fussy and behave like you're feeling bothered. So,
Okay.
Wisteria is going to start like flapping impatiently and hooting as though she's wanting to not be here anymore.
Okay. She flaps around a little bit and looks a bit disturbed. Definitely makes a bit of a ruckus, and enough so that Breath of Air does look down for a moment to eye off the bird. He scans you over, and it definitely seems like he is checking to see if you are up to something, if you're casting a spell or anything like that. And when he seems satisfied that you're not, he returns to looking above.
Okay, I will verbally say, I will say, calm down, please. If you like, you can go and stretch your wings, and I like to take it onto my arm and like do the whole like avian like half toss, half encourage to fly, and tell her go into I'll tell her to fly of the cavern and then come back in about half a minute and then rest in this chamber.
Okay.
So presumably half of that is verbal command, the other half is telepathic command.
Yes, so, yes, verbally just saying, oh, go on, go and have some fun, but telepathically I tell her to leave for a bit and then come back in.
Okay. Yeah, and you're getting her to stay in this chamber here,
I'm
or
going
return
to
back to you after a moment.
I'm going to get her to be in there for now because oh god, that is further than I had hoped. I'll tell her to go in there because if nothing else, we saw Storm go in that direction.
Yep.
So I'll tell Wisteria to look for signs of Storm or a passageway that she could have taken out of the chamber, and then to report back.
She comes back after several minutes, reporting back that there is no other way in or out of that chamber that she can see. There is only one entrance and exit.
I'll quietly pass this along to Sam and to Mug.
And whilst this is happening, Thalai,
Ah.
you're hearing the same voices constantly berating at you again, picking up in intensity yet again, saying you're unworthy, you're a failure, you only cheated to get here. It was never your right.
Once again, in a unsure voice, he says under his breath again. He says under his breath in Giant, I did what I was asked for the good of the clan.
Can you make me another saving throw, please?
Which type of saving throw?
We know what type of saving throw. A nat 20, so a total of 19.
Oh, that's enough.
Oh boy!
That's
Really,
good.
really?
You hear the words cutting into you, but this time you don't let them get to you, and you see the same trick again as it reforms into that of this time two hands kind of coming together to clap you between them, and I'll give you advantage on this check for strength saving throw this time. As
Do we see it when the
tries to
wind
smash
turns
you.
into like fists? and
No,
things?
you're not seeing this.
Alright,
You're
strength-
seeing his reactions to it, but not anything happening up there. You're just hearing the winds howling above.
Alright. Strength saving throw. Boy, thank God for advantage there. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yet again, you resist. You feel the wind almost pressing against you as if trying to squeeze at you. But after a moment, you actually manage to shrug it back, pushing back the wind almost, it feels like. And there is almost a moment of brevity as the wind kind of eases off you for a moment. And you're able to regain your footing and properly position yourself. And then we'll descend back down below.
Descending.
Phew.
Yes, where Storm is about to get herself killed.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Probably, but maybe not.
If you think sassing a god is a good idea,
Well,
She absolutely does.
Have you met this party?
Unfortunately.
Storm, you are currently being dragged in and absorbed into this membrane of sorts.
Does she get a sense of like this is threatening, or is it more a sense of like it's trying to push her through to the other side?
Definitely not trying to push you through to the other side. It is trying to absorb you and suffocate you.
Gotcha.
It definitely has a hostile feel to it.
Ooh.
Okay. In that case, she will attempt to break her way up from it. Question.
Answer.
Could she potentially use her... Wait, we just had a long rest, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I have not actually done a long rest. Okay. Can she use her fist of air to like create some
No,
distance?
she is currently. You walked bodily into it, so your entire front is kind of being absorbed and restrained by it. So you can't get enough motion from your hands to be able to conjure the winds at the moment.
Okay. Can she set her hands on fire?
Yes, you can.
She
But you
will do
saw that so far everything you've done against it elementally wise has not really done much.
Oh, true. There's probably not a lot she can do except allow it to consume her. Can I use Step of the Wind, which is to disengage? Or would I still need to do a strength saving throw to get out?
You still need to get a strength saving throw. It is restraining you, yes.
Alright, well, she'll try and pull out, because that's all she has. That's all she
Now
can
you
do.
do have your gauntlets on you, which are bladed. You can use those to assist you.
Okay, I just presumed I couldn't move like that.
Well, they're literally strapped to your arm, so all you need to do is twist around a bit.
Okay.
I will give you advantage because of the gauntlets.
Okay. Oh yeah. I forgot that I have blind sight for 30 feet. Ooh hoo hoo! Thank God for advantage. What am I doing? Strength saving throw?
Yes.
It's still not enough.
What is it?
13.
Okay. Your gauntlets do.
Unless I can use athletics. Nope, that's still the same. Never mind.
It's a strength saving throw, anyways. Your gauntlets do cut and tear at it a bit. You're not entirely restrained. You could attempt to attack it as well and cut your way free, rather than just try and pull yourself free.
Okay. I just presumed that that was like an action to do that.
The longer you take, the more it is trying to drag you in.
Okay. Well, yeah, she'll try and attack it then.
Make me an attack roll.
Oh, that misses.
What did you get?
3 plus 6.
Yeah, you attempt to cut against it, but unfortunately are not successful in scraping away at it. What do you do now?
She'll try and attack it again.
Alright, make another attack. It is starting to slowly envelop your face, which it is making it harder for you to breathe. But not
I
really
rolled
so much
the
for you.
same thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can hold my breath indefinitely.
Which means you theoretically actually have an indefinite time to try and cut free from this, because it is just going to try and suffocate you.
Yep, she'll just try again. Oh god, that was worse. That's cocked. Let me try again. That was 1 better. I've not rolled over 10 so far. That was a 4, which plus 6 is 10.
It is now starting to envelop up over your face. Almost your entire face is covered into it, and you can feel your arms are starting to be surrounded a bit, and your legs as well. It's getting a bit harder to move. It's not moving particularly fast, but it does have a good grip on you.
And all she can think to herself is, they didn't tell me anything about this. They didn't say it was a trial, only that I had to go down there. Stupid cats. Oh, that's a dirty 20.
All right. You finally, as you started to feel it wrap around the back of your head, managed to get your arms to twist the right way to cut free enough for one arm to then slice across and tear it off your face. You finally collapse through the membrane onto the other side as it almost starts to shrivel away as you separate it from its membranes that were attached to the wall. And you don't need to worry about breathing, but it's almost that fresh air feeling. It's not so fresh though, as it is boiling hot and almost burning in your mouth. But it is nice to be able to breathe again. But you have fallen through into the chamber.
She still wails at it and like for a little while longer because it tried to eat her. You stupid gooby thing! Why are you so sticky? Now it's all over my fur.
As you look up into the chamber, there's a lot to look at. First of all, ahead of you stands a small plinth, which seems to be carved of stone, clearly carved, unlike everything else here that seems to be natural. And you can already see obvious signs of weathering in it where previous monks have sat upon the stone in prayer and speech to Atua. You can only assume what you see before you is the embodiment of Atua or his power or some description of that. It is a whirling storm floating in the air. You can see clouds smashing together and whirling like a tornado within, and almost like a storm inside it of rain as well, but nothing dropping to the ground below. And you can see these cracks of lightning, but the entire thing seems red and angry. Something seems off about it. Around the cavern itself are scattered. You notice a gleaming crystalline like object, all small clusters of purple crystals scatter the area. Though again, upon looking a bit closer, you notice that they are hinted with red within them, almost like they've been tainted. You immediately recognize the purple crystals as arcanium. Which is almost like a magical battery source of sorts. You've seen it before at the Xel'nari castle. Generally considered to be fairly rare, and definitely worth a decent amount of money.
No, Kovac, you can't descend onto the island and get here.
But something definitely seems wrong about them. They are tainted with a reddish glow within, which is not something you've ever seen before from
them. She's gonna spend a moment just like, cleaning herself off. And then she's gonna kind of like, does she get like, it's gonna sound weird. Can she use her elemental affinity to kind of like do an insight check on this swell? On this storm that's in here?
Yeah, go for it. Make an insight check.
Like how she's got like the like whatever it's called, attunement.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. 23. I think. Hang on. No. That's way too much. That's Dirty 20, sorry.
As you reach out and try to sense the storm, sense the wind, and feel the air around you, as you've done many times before to kind of get a feel of a storm, you feel a sense of yearning, a sense of pain and constriction, but also an odd sense of familiarity. Like, you know this wind.
Papa? Sorry.
Up until this point, she'd been like, whatever the fuck about this shit, I ain't for it. At this, she actually is like, maybe I want to listen. And she actually, like, actively starts heading towards the pedestal, looks at it, thinks, maybe I'll sit at it, and then goes, no. And then actually walks up to the storm.
As you start walking towards it, a voice calls out behind you. Oh, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I had hoped you would not return. It makes things difficult. But it's not a problem. Easily disposed of. And I'll just tell them that the Tua saw you as unworthy.
I knew it!
You definitely recognize the sound of True Smoke's voice, but there's something else to it, an almost underlying echo of it. Something seems
Demon.
wrong. And he is standing there, leaning against the rocks.
As
Just
he's
watching you.
talking, she has spent her action, so to speak, in this time to activate the poison in her blades.
Okay.
It's the first time she's used it. But continue.
And we'll jump back upstairs.
She's
Alright.
Yeah, literally. Sith kitty.
City.
kitty.
City.
It's a Sithy.
I think it's just the biggest shame that chat can't see the images and gifs we're sharing.
I mean, you
Well,
guys could be putting them in memes, man.
Yeah,
There is a memes channel.
This is true.
They're really
Holding out on everyone.
I will
So,
then.
Hi.
Kovac, Mysterio has returned to you, informing you that there is no other way in or out of that area, so you're not sure where she went from there.
Oh. Oh. Oof. We've lost her again. No. There's no passageway or corridor beyond that chamber.
Do you want me to do ascending?
Yes, please.
Making sure I'm close enough. Actually, I am next to Subtlewing, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say, Thalai will be up there for fucking ages. I'm going to get some more of that fish. And walk out of the room.
Wait. As you are about
Honestly,
to...
that's just a vote of confidence for me.
Yeah. As you are about to leave, Kovac will grab your arm quickly and will do a quick sketch on a piece of paper, fold it up and hand it to you. She has drawn a picture of a portion of the ceiling that she has spotted could be a safe place to teleport to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, head over to the next part of the room. So the food. Actually, if I said I was going to get food, I'll go over to the assume the tables where the food was at.
Yep.
Head over there and do a sending to Storm.
Okay. He's counting it out.
Okay. Hey, Storm. It's Mug. You seem to disappear. We're not sure what happened. We don't trust True Smoke. Thalai's doing good. Mostly. Hope your god likes you.
She's just gonna assume that you said God likes, and then he's gonna fill that in with fish.
All right. Storm.
What round of the combat does the sending come through?
You do not receive this message.
Oh.
So, Mug, you sit there for several moments waiting for a response. More than enough time that you should have had a response.
And you know Storm, she's chatty.
You expected something a bit more ridiculous, but you got silence.
If there's one thing that is very unstorm-like, it's silence. I'll get like leftover food and fruit, like sort of like a tray sort of thing, so I can bring back and actually give to like Kovac and the Sams.
Mhm.
That's a weird band name, isn't it?
Kovac and the Sam.
Kovac and the Sam.
It's like a 1950s doo-wop group.
Ellis, next time you're streaming, that's going to be my redeem.
What?
Kovac and the Sams.
Oh my god.
Art redeem.
Alright.
When I get within range, telepathic message to Kovac and the Sams, saying no response from Storm. I'm a little bit worried.
Can I respond?
You can, but you'll have to speak.
Okay.
I don't.
That's not creepy at all. Just I don't.
Oh, this
that
whole
laugh wasn't
party
helping
is
it. That laugh was
is-
not helping.
this whole party is full of creepy.
Gremlins. I love it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you want to respond first, Kovac, you can. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and do a thing.
No, you go. It's fine.
Cool. It's going to be. What are the limitations? In Mug's head, you'll just hear. What are the limitations on your sending spell?
If they're on the same plane of existence, they should be able to respond if they're conscious. If they're on another plane, it may not work.
So either she's on another plane, or she's gone.
Or silent spell,
Hmm.
which means if you do find her, she'll be upset.
Oh, she'd find a way to make noise even if she was silenced. Believe me.
Pulls out the bagpipes. Oh yeah, I forgot
don't
we're
wanna
still in
do
hot
anything-
tubs. Oh god, it's still
Yeah.
hot tub stream. I'm gonna remove
Just say, I'll
that.
say to Mug, I don't want to do anything that'll make them upset. However,
Oh, I do. I really, really do.
Zero hesitation.
Smoke is not here.
Hmm.
They are the only person who will know how to talk to
Smoke
Storm.
is the one that took over Storm's
From,
mother's job.
Yeah. Should we ask Subtle to see if we can locate Smoke?
Yeah.
Subtle might be. This is in our heads. It might be easier for Subtle to move around than for us. But with the speaker missing, we have no other way to ascertain her whereabouts. And I think Subtle might be as worried as we are with that. And then to Kovek, I'll just be like, so me and Mug have been talking.
You notice there are
You-
lots of eye contact.
Yeah. So Storm isn't responding. We are looking at asking or telling Subtle that we cannot get in contact with her. But Smoke is also missing. So if we were going to be able to talk with her, he's who we need. So locating Smoke might be our way to get in contact and find out what's happening with Storm. So maybe Subtle might be the best person to do that. Thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you don't agree. Because you can't respond from... Okay.
She will bend down next to Sam and just whisper, previously, we could more or less predict Subtle's allegiances and motivations. His main goal was to bring Storm back here. Storm's back here. We don't know how he'll respond.
Sam gets a telepathic message saying, "What did Kovek say?"
Hold on while I transfer you to the appropriate.
Connect you to the operator.
Please
hold
press
your
1
conference
for
call.
Kovek, 2 for Storm.
Sorry,
I'll
that
just
line is
quickly-
unavailable currently.
That
So
line is
please try
unavailable
again
right now.
later.
So is Thalai at the moment.
I'll say to Mug, back in your head, she's worried about Subtle's allegiance. However, I don't think he means Storm any ill will. He knows we care for her. If we have a worry, maybe he'll lean into that. And then I'll repeat that to Kovek in her mind. And also adding on to Kovek, by the way, you know I'm playing like message delivery service between us and Mug, correct?
So while Sam is relaying the message from there, you also get a second stream of words into your head of Mug's voice going, "Don't worry, I got this." And I walk over to Subtle.
Oh my god.
Aren't they on like the other side of us? Like we're on
No.
one side of the
No,
thing.
Subtle stayed over with you.
Oh,
Mug
I thought
hasn't
he was like
moved
on the
himself
complete
back.
other
Well,
side. with
he's
all
the
of
only one
monks.
who can translate, so it makes sense for him to be on our corner of the
Yeah,
building.
that makes sense. That's a very good
That's
point.
true.
I completely shut that out of my brain. Apologies.
So I'm just
Oh,
going
the
to
child.
walk past Subtle and just sort of say in common, "It's a bit odd that True Smoke's not here, isn't it? Surely it'll be their job to observe what's happening? Very odd."
There's a moment of... Huh? What? It is strange for the speaker to not be here to witness. It is for him to decide whether or not the tour finds you successful.
I mean, if there's something more important that is duties to his god, by all means, but it's very odd.
It is not our concern.
Hmm?
You need to worry about your friend.
Nah, he got this.
For the longer distance party expression.
As I say that, I do glance up and try to locate the hidey hole that Kovek pointed out earlier.
I feel Kovek is pretty damn good at drawing a decent description of it.
She's spent enough time around crime scenes to be able to convey
I'll give you
sketches.
an investigation with advantage.
Wouldn't
Or
it be
perception,
perception?
whichever is you're kind of looking for
Investigation, I think, makes sense to interpret the clues that
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Kovek.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Woohoo! That's a good start. Dirty 20.
Oh.
Nice. It's been a lot of dirty 20s and actual 20s as well.
That's because we try to stack advantage on every single roll we can.
Yeah, you're able to spot the ledge. It's just slightly to the side of where the vents are, where the wind is actually coming in, which could also actually be another location for you as well. Though you do run the risk of potentially being in the direct strike path of the winds. But seeing the ledge, it's enough of an outcropping that you believe there's enough space that you could teleport up there unseen.
You see, the dangerous part of this plan is I only have one dimension door spell.
Mm-hmm.
So getting you back is another matter.
Yeah. But that's a issue for tomorrow, Mug. How far through the challenge do we think Thalai is?
He's just a little bit past halfway now.
Ooh, wait.
Piece of candy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Maths.
Many.
Did you have a plan?
I did have a plan, but first I need to do maths.
Ah, yes. Maths. Foiled once more.
Sorry.
So, what are we thinking?
I'll say to Subtle, I'll see if I can find True Smoke outside and walk back to the entrance.
Sorry about that.
Yep. So from the entrance, I wouldn't have line of sight to the part of the chamber where I could hide, would I?
You could potentially get the right angle from there, but you run the risk of either Subtle potentially being able to see you do it, or Soft Feather from their positioning, hiding against one of the corners. You run the risk of one of them being able to see you do it.
Okay.
You can do a blind jump knowing where it is.
No, I'll do the safe way. So I will cast invisibility from outside the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk back to just the opening of the sort of chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still a bit of a distance away, so hopefully they won't be able to hear the verbal components and that sort of thing. Especially not with like massive wind in the chamber.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there I will dimension door to the perch.
Okay. You you step into the gateway and step back out on the other side. You're no longer invisible, but you are successfully up on the perch.
Mhm.
And unless you were to lean over the edge to look, you would not be able to see the others, and they would not be able to see you.
Okay.
But you are about 15 feet away from Thalai at this position. You're just slightly below him.
I am going to start off with Bardic Inspiration.
Mhm.
And the counter charm ability of the bard. So in essence, it's going to be sort of the constant sort of monologue of remember your training, remember who you are, the Xel'nari stand true, you know the history, you know where they're from, and just keep repeating that sort of mantra. And yeah, so you'll have a inspiration dice. I'll mark that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And whenever I spend an action to do the counter charm, you and any friendly creature within 30 foot that can hear you gain advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. So I'm not sure whether the voice things was like a fear effect.
All right, Thalai.
Yep.
You don't see Mug, but you hear him chanting out to you over the winds slightly. He sounds fairly close, oddly.
I wonder whether I could do that through telepathy. Because they hear me, just not with
Yeah,
their ears.
theoretically, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
They just need to be able to hear you is the requirement for it. It does not say that it has to be not do telepathically. You hear the voices rising up against you again, feeling the wind starting to swirl and buffet more. It's getting far more intense than it has been now. It seems like it's almost getting angry that it hasn't been able to dislodge you just yet. You hear the same calling out. This time you recognize the voice of your chief and the voice of the would-be chief. The one you fought in combat. Saying, "You're a liar, you're unworthy. They should have left you to die in the mountains." But over this, you hear another voice. You hear Mug cheering you on, and then hear the voices of your friends cheering you on as well, reaffirming. And then you also hear the sound of the Grand Master of the Xel'nari announcing to all before that you were champion. You alone beat the trial. Came first, beating out all your classmates. A momentous occasion. So I'll get you to make me another save, this time with advantage.
Yep.
And you have a bardic inspiration.
The bardic inspiration as well, yep.
If you need it.
I'll use the inspiration. 18.
Okay. You... Yeah, there's a moment where you'll just find yourself thinking, you know, I did the right thing. And I've proven myself time and time again now. I was the champion. I beat the others. I beat Kovac, who outsmarts anyone, and I still got through the challenges, the intelligence challenges, and beat them to the end. I beat Storm through the athletics trials and swimming, even though, you know, it was a hard trudge for you. Still managed to do it. And even Nimble Sam, who was able to maneuver around through the areas because of their size, you still managed to overcome and beat them. And the rest of your classmates. You even beat a Triton in water. You're worthy. You can do this.
Thalai does have tears streaming down his face as he realizes this.
You see again the wind forming up into a fist, clenching before you, and coming to smash against you. And this time, it buffets against you, and it feels almost just like a soft breeze. You effortlessly rebut against it and stand your ground. Almost as you brace yourself, you almost actually over-brace and fall forward as you expect this full-blown force to hit you. And then it's so effortless for you to break through that you actually lean forward over into it. It seems that there is definitely more to it than just being able to balance. There is definitely a psychological part to it. That you are overcoming. And from this moment on, you find that the challenge seems to be a little bit easier for you to buff it against. You're still being cut at by the winds, and you still hear the screaming voices trying to beat you down again. But thanks to the assistance of your friends, you at least don't have to worry about that part. Now it is truly just a test of your physical fortitude, something that you are definitely capable
Oh, when the drink runs out, Ash,
of.
I will be activating the frost rune that I swapped into my earring to give me the +2 to. Or
I believe the drink lasts for an hour.
Just because I drank it a little bit before we stood on the platform.
Okay.
It's just to help compensate for that last bit of overflow.
Last few minutes or so. Yep, not a problem. All right. Coming close to the end of the hour, you feel the wind starting to pick up rapidly, just striking out at you. Rather than try and knock you over, as it's now realized that it's incapable of doing so, it would rather try and cut you down. So you feel multiple slashing winds cutting against you. Jeez. Apparently the dice think that you've got this as well.
Nice.
Only one successful hit of 6.
Oh, Jesus.
For 7 points of damage. Slashing damage as it cuts into you.
That could have been nasty.
It could be very nasty. But again, you redouble your efforts and hold your ground. The boots are definitely helping you here as well. Just keep your footing as you cover your face and try and avoid the slashes hitting any more sensitive spots, so to speak. And then we will jump over to Mug and Kovac and the rest again. You see that he seems to have solidified his footing and that he's holding his ground. But now you see obvious signs of injury, as you see a few drops of blood dropping to the ground, as he's quite clearly been cut up from the winds above. Is there anything you want to do from that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, Mug is incommunicado at the moment, so...
One sec.
Yeah, you've definitely got a better view of this Mug, and you can see you actually get to see some of these wind currents forming visible slashing forces cutting into him from your vantage point being so much closer. So you can see what he's having to endure and go through.
So we're seeing bits of blood.
Yeah, so you've seen a bit of blood pooling on the ground beneath as it's dropped from the height.
I'm going to feign needing to step away and regain my composure.
Mhm.
We're like, oh, I can't bear to watch. He's such a good friend.
Oh, I do believe I have the vapors. You need a little fan.
Roll me a deception, please.
God damn it! Why do I have to add a narrative? 7.
Okay.
I'm not very convincing, but I do so as I'm walking out of the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do keep on glancing up at Thalai just a little bit. And once I get to here, I'm going to take a seat on one of these big piles of sticks, and I'll kind of pivot around, and I'll reach my hand down to the spell book at my side and rhythmically drum my fingers on it and glance over to this corridor here, and I will conjure my spectral spell book.
As you are drumming your fingers across and are about to start the incantation, you feel a hand grab you. Not to pull you away or anything, but just like to stop you for a moment. And Subtle is standing beside you. He goes,
What?
Thalai is almost succeeded. Do not risk it by casting magics now.
I'm worried about Storm.
What do you mean? She is speaking with Atua. If anything, she is the safest of us all right now.
And where is the current speaker?
It is strange he is not here, but
It's
it is not of my concerns to know his whereabouts.
It's been almost an hour. It is of my concern to understand the motives of those around me. He said himself that only he holds privilege to speak to your god. And then all of a sudden, this wild card, this rebel, is returned to the island and has been granted the same privilege. He seems sufficiently hungry for power in my book that I believe he would take steps to ensure the sanctity of his position.
You do not understand. He would not be. He may be upset about this, as most of them are. It is unheard of, but we live by the laws of this temple and of our god. If Atua has asked to speak with Storm, then none would question that. They may not be happy about it, but none would do anything to jeopardize it.
Fine.
That is why I was sent to get her.
I'll stand and move my hand off my book and say, fine. But if my theory is true, I'm holding you responsible.
If it will put your mind at ease, I will find him.
Yes.
He cannot have gone far. Perhaps he has stepped out into the courtyards.
Please.
You do remember that I did tell you about right at the beginning. I think I might have seen him go off, but
yes, he has been absent for almost an hour. He could have gone far.
No, he rarely goes beyond the totems.
Then check the totems. And I turn and return to Sam's.
And yes, he does seem to, again, almost disappear off into the shadows.
I'm so sus. I'm so flippin' sus.
Completely get it.
I don't feel bad for, I hope it's not being perceived as that. I wouldn't consider this theory metagaming, even though at a game I know it's been proven right, because I said I'm suspicious of him because he's left before the dramatic reveal. Yeah. So I hope that's okay.
It's also we have met people who do this.
Yeah,
we know in our societies that if you have a certain position, someone else looks like, oh, maybe this is smuggling in.
Also, you guys already know that everyone at the temple has a distaste for Storm, except for, and there's only one person that you've witnessed even show a semblance of kindness, which was Mist. Yes.
Yeah.
But still, sus. Hopefully,
Oh yeah, we're all sus.
justifiable in character amounts of sus.
But there is so much riding on this; it's unreal.
In the last 10 minutes of the trial, is anyone going to do anything to attempt to assist or do any other shenanigans?
I am.
No.
I'll double check my maths on the Featherfall, but at this point, I feel like Thalai's more or less got this.
Okay. There's nothing that seems to say you can't have more than one die of inspiration at a time.
No, there is nothing that stops you.
So, Thalai, you have 2 more inspiration dies for the final 10 minutes. Because part of my backup plan, which was even another level of dumb on top of what I've already done, was to teleport up here, give him all the bardic inspiration, have a cat nap, count as a short rest, get all my inspirations back again, give him another lot of that.
Oh my god, amazing.
Just gonna curl up on a ledge and have a nap with the winds howling past your ears.
That seemed to be slightly taking the piss. Well, technically doable, yeah, I'm fine not doing it.
All right. In the last 10 minutes, things definitely start to pick up. So much so that, Mug, you start to see the forms of the wind come together and create these palm-like formations or fists that strike at Thalai. Now, he's doing a fairly decent job of resisting against it. But then you start to see something else more forming. And Thalai, this is where you start to feel it again.
Oh boy.
The winds start to take shape of a different kind. Faces and forms start to swirl around you. You recognize them as your clansmen and your kinsmen. Another face that is almost strange to you, but you do recognize it as well, of the previous champion who went to the Xel'nari. And as they come past you, they strike at you, but also whisper into you. Now, Mug, you are seeing these forms physically swirling around him and then suddenly striking out at him. But Thalai, you're hearing them again calling you worthless. You should have your tattoo stripped from you. It is dishonorable.
While this is happening, in literally the last, 5 minutes, I've written a little poem about Thalai.
Oh, I definitely want to hear this.
So I'm going to be beaming this straight to his brain. It's not the best rhyming and meter, but it gets the job done. Born on a mountain, so cold and alone, strengthened by peril, as tough as a stone. Sent off to glory, sent off with pride, trained with a team to fight side by side. With danger surrounding, he feels quite at ease. When trying to plan, it is violence he seeks. As time changes men and makes old things end, the man of the mountains discovered his friends. Thalai is a hero, whether he knows it or not, because he refused to fall off this fucking rock.
Amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll pay that.
So that's my final push of encouragement to try and get him to just hold on for that last, bring everything he's got to.
You know what? Just for that, I'm going to give these attacks disadvantage as they strike. They are attempting to strike out and cut at your tattoos, trying to leave marks and scars that would blemish them. Ooh. disadvantage. Only one successfully lands a strike against you. Now, there was another crit in there that got turned into a 3, so very lucky.
Lucky.
Thank you, Mark.
For 6 points of damage only as it slices in. The rest you buff it and almost parry the wind away as you hold against it.
Yep.
As you feel this surge of inspiration from your friend come into you.
All right. At this point, because we're doing the final bit, have I worn off? Sorry.
Yeah, in the last minute or two, it would be wearing off. Yes.
Okay. Just making sure my stats are appropriate for this. That's all.
Well, it is also like 1 point at the end of the day.
The face of the would-be chief floats up directly in front of you and just calls you. Admit your weakness. Admit you lied. Admit you cheated. Admit you are worthless.
I am strong. Because I know I am strong. Because my friends say I am strong. And the deeds I have done show and prove I am strong. I have endured more than anything I endured before the Xel'nari, and I shall continue to do so long until my final dying breath, which is not today.
At this, the face contorts as the wind starts to shift around, and it looks almost like it's smiling. And you hear the familiar chuckle of your friend. Yeah, you're worthy. In fact, you're probably one of the few worthy enough to actually return to us. And then the face disappears. And from below, you hear a horn, which Breath of Air has raised to his mouth, signifying that you have successfully accomplished 1 hour.
Thalai, without any hesitation, calls out, I'm done.
As you call it out, you feel the winds around you slow. It seems that the true trial is that first hour, but after that it is just endurance and taking the time to see how long you can truly stay up there. But the true challenge is the hour. You hear the chains start to creak as the apparatus is lowered slowly back to the ground.
Do I see Mug lying down on the platform as I'm lowered?
Yes.
I just look at him for a moment, but then I look away to not draw attention, and I'm staring.
It's that moment where you both lock eyes and
And I
Is that like a moment in Umbrella Academy where Carl's been like,
yeah, pretty much that. And it's just like I look away though, so I'm not drawing attention to it. 'Cause
as the platform is dropping down, Kovac, you hear a voice behind you. It is Subtles. You don't recall seeing him enter the room, but he is behind you. And the voice is, "You're right, something is wrong. I could not find him anywhere. And he should not be within the chamber, but that is the only place he could be."
May we enter?
You can see a lot of emotions cross his face as he contemplates that sentence. He does not confirm or deny, but instead says, "Meet me in the chamber once the light is down."
Okay.
And if you do were to look over your shoulder, he is nowhere to be seen.
during that, I just kind of look over to Kovac and I'm like, "Where's Mug?"
He'll be joining us shortly.
Oh,
Anyway.
now that you know.
Look, I can do it too, Thalai. Oh!
Very shortly.
I need feather fall.
See, this is why you should have saved the invisibility for coming back down. You could have jumped on with Thalai.
Well, I do have more second level spell slots.
Yes, Thalai descends slowly to the ground. Are you going to attempt to get down now or later?
Oh, I'm going to wait until there's like less eyes in the room if possible, and then invisibility and climb down.
You could just, you could just jump onto the chain and slide down the chain. It won't be the most comfortable, but
Yeah, so Thalai is slowly descended to the ground, and Breath moves over to you slowly, looks around as if confused for a moment, looking for true smoke. Seems the speaker has been required elsewhere. But I will be the first to admit I am impressed. Very, very few succeed on their first try. And very few succeed as well as you have. I see you have also understood that it is more than just a test of endurance, but mental endurance as well.
thanks, Storm, for telling us.
You
Is all I'm
forget
thinking.
that Storm gives zero fucks about anyone and when she was here doing these trials, had nothing. No one believed in her, and like no one wanted her around. She was her own, so she didn't like. When you're surrounded by voices of malice at all times, you build up resilience. To her, she barely heard the voices.
He offers a hand to you.
I take it.
He gives a firm shake.
Decapitate.
You can definitely sense and feel the strength in his arms. He is quite capable.
I have.
But-
Oh,
Go
no. Sorry, you finished because I was just gonna say a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has strength in his arms.
No, he ponders you for a moment and then looks over to your friends. It seems that we are wrong about at least some outsiders. You have stood the trial and shown yourself worthy of a tour. You are welcome here. Please forgive our harsh ways, but it is laws that we must uphold. I offer an apology to my brash ways, though I understand if you do not accept it.
I understand the desire to protect your. It may seem overzealous, but it's still a worthy cause to protect that you care about.
It has protected us for many generations, but it would seem it is not always the wisest of ways to go about things. We shall await for your storm to return, but until then, you are welcome. You may rest, and when she does, we will take you down to the town. Perhaps it is time they see what outsiders are.
Could we recuperate in the food chamber, perhaps, if that is okay?
Of course. For the moment, we will leave you be. We have much to discuss before we decide whether or not you will go to the town. It is going to be a lot for them. They have never
course.
seen an outsider.
Thank you. And I have nothing but... I have nothing but utmost respect for those who have succeeded on this trial.
And that he bows, and the three of them step away. They actually step outside, leaving you in the cave alone.
Ugh, you can come down now. I feel a little bit bad that we only did as well as we did because we did cheat.
No, they said no magic. I did not use any magic on you.
I'm more referring to the fact that the slippers.
Okay, yeah, you cheated. I did.
Nah,
They-
you had
it's
the
the thing.
you used the resources at your disposal to your advantage.
Yeah,
Literally what I was going to say, considering they're very monkey and oh wait, no, that doesn't sound right. They're very cat, not monkey.
I am
Yeah.
assuming with my passive insight of 15, I can at least tell that something's wrong though, because you guys
Probably, yeah.
seem a bit strained. What's going on? You look more concerned than I would have thought the trial would have made you. Kovac. Oh, shit. Kovac's not with us anymore for some reason.
Sam will respond in Kovac's place and just be like, "We can't get in contact with Storm, and we don't know where the voice of the god is. It feels a bit sus. I don't know. It's been an entire hour and we've not seen the voice,
But from
and we've not heard from Storm. And the only person who could get us to talk to Storm would be the voice. So you kind of see what thing we're in at the moment.
Yes.
I'm back. What I miss?
Just I
Not
went
a
to
lot, I don't
ask.
think.
I went to
Oh.
ask.
Thalai ascended to godhood, just nothing.
Yeah.
I am
My
your
people
god.
need me
Bow
now.
to me.
I must go now. My people need me.
I am now the new god of the island.
No.
It's nothing major.
They were accepted by the monks, especially Breath, who apologized for his brash attitude, and they have said that they will discuss amongst themselves whether or not it will be acceptable for the party to be seen by the village. As perhaps their ways have not been the right ways.
They then walked out of the cave. Mug, I think, is joining / us at this point.
If they've left this room, then yes. Cast
Yeah, but-
invisibility and climb down.
They've left the cave entirely.
Okay.
And I did ask Kovac, going like, "You look more worried than I be about this trial. What's going on?" I was talking to Samantha what happened. That we haven't.
Yeah, then I explained it. 'Cause I took place of Kovac.
Because I didn't.
I
I forgot that you went AFK for. Sorry about that, Zoe.
All good.
As much as
But I
love-
didn't explain a part of what, obviously, because the bits that I didn't state were the things that Subtle said to you, because I wasn't there for that. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah,
As much as I am loath to break the trust they are showing us right now, that doesn't all add up.
we
I-
can meet Subtle in the adjacent chamber.
As I say, if Subtle thinks
wait.
something's wrong, then let us go.
Yes.
Gods, I don't have time to put on my armor. I'll just grab my shield. And I'm going to take off the slippers and give them to you. Sorry if they stink, but they definitely helped. Thank you.
It actually might be beneficial for you to keep hold of them, because they're attunement.
They're of no use to me until I can reattune to them. Hang on to them for now.
Oh,
I feel so
and
weird on my
Kovac,
feet.
his feet were in those slippers, naked. He wasn't even wearing socks.
I can clean them. I can clean them. I can clean them.
I
Clean them.
I don't understand why you need to wear a layer over your feet when you've already got a layer over your feet. Makes no sense.
You know what? Time's running out. Let's go.
Go.
We need to attack
Sam
this
does not
city.
bring up that Sam does not wear socks.
I was going to say, it is canon Thalai does not wear socks.
And seeing Thalai kind of go, no time for armor. As I pass by, I'll give him a pat on the shoulder and give him some mage armor.
Yay, so that gives me what again, sorry?
13 is your armor class, so it'll be 15 is your shield.
Yep, so
Do you have any dex mod?
no. I have a flat 0 for dex. Base armor plus dex. just
Yeah, I can't give you
13.
anything spell-wise from mine.
And then I am holding the shield. It is not attuned to me, so I can't have it float around me. But you know what? It still gives me an AC of 15. Let's go.
Are there any
I
problems?
do
with Mug
hope I get
calm
to
down?
use my new spell, though, that I've picked up.
Sorry, what was that?
So I was just going to ask Ash if there are any problems with Mug climbing down.
No.
Okay.
You've got time to take it easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to rush down.
Because when he comes down, if Thalai's still looking in bad shape, he'll give a healing spell.
I'm definitely below. I'm definitely bloodied.
So, 3rd level, cure wounds. Get 23 points of healing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's pretty damn good.
Hey, don't forget your mug.
Thank you, Mog. All of it.
You make your way into the chamber with Subtle. He looks over your shoulder just to make sure that the other monks are not there.
They've all stepped outside.
It is concerning, I admit this, that the speaker was not here, but what makes you think that Storm is in danger? She is with Atua.
From what I understand, Mog used a spell to contact her, and she should be able to respond. Unless somehow, wherever she is in another distance. And from what I understand, that's a very small chance to respond.
5% chance.
So if something doesn't add up, Storm would normally respond. Even she would find a way.
Although, the
It's
one
true, she
thing
does
that
like
would
to
give
speak.
us...
No, go ahead.
So the one thing that would help give us peace of mind would be able to find the speaker, who should then be able to contact Storm, or at least see what Storm is doing.
Yeah.
So we have peace of mind. I think that's what we're looking for overall. Is we want a peace. We would like a peace of mind because it's been an hour, although it was never stated at how long this journey was going to take.
It's also
And he wasn't at where he was supposed to be at the trials. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
where we come from uneasy.
from an order that takes tradition very seriously. That he himself is here to oversee this trial is very odd.
I agree, that is the only reason why I'm listening to this right now. And he starts pacing back out and forth in front of the statue. You can almost see him playing over the different scenarios in his mind, trying to decide what is the right course of action.
Yeah.
It is very clearly fighting with his very being and very morals to decide what must happen next.
Who does True Smoke answer to?
Well, truly only to Atua, but Breath of Air is still head of the monastery.
Would Breath of Air be able to go down and see what is going on?
Of course. And you can see he tries to contemplate his next words very carefully. Truly, anyone can enter. It is but forbidden.
I know.
Ah, Tua, forgive me. I break a sacred vow this day. Come, touch the lodestone. It will give us a path in.
Don't tell me twice. Bang.
Yeah, I'm listening to subtle.
Same.
Right. Meanwhile, back over the other side of things.
Let's find out what the fuck's going on with this island.
So, Storm, you have come face to face with True Smoke. Though something
Or
seems
is it
slightly off about him.
Yep, she has activated the poison on her blades as well.
At the moment, he doesn't seem to be making any obvious advance to come towards you. He's just leaning against the stone. Which also seems out of place. He never seems to be nonchalant, but this is very nonchalant how he's standing now. Almost like he just couldn't care less whether he was here or not right now.
Can I insight check him?
Yes.
Does he seem like himself, or is this? Oh God, nope. I see nothing.
I was about to say, I've just
11.
said that he definitely doesn't seem like himself.
No. As in, like, does it look like an act or like dropping an act? Does that make sense?
More so dropping an act. So, little fluffy one, how would you like to die? I can't let you go back to your friends, not having seen this. And he gestures towards the storm.
Quick question. Is he speaking in cat or common at the moment?
Cat.
In cat.
Yes.
Okay, I just maybe been curious.
Storm actually backs up closer to the storm behind her.
Oh, don't go seeking help from him. He's... Well, honestly, a bit of a letdown. I expected more from a so-called god. He is rather easy to subdue. Oh well. Enough of this charade. I think it's time for you to die. And as he starts walking towards you, he pulls out from his robes two burning red, seems to be made of almost pure energy, short swords that curve into a sickening point. You've seen weapons like this before. And his form starts to change. He starts walking towards you.
Fucking knew it.
I took Moonbeam for this specific reason.
His skin, his fur starts to recede in, and his skin starts to change to grey, with those charred-like marks along it, almost like
It's
runes.
happening, Zoe. It's happening.
His form actually, unlike the others that you've seen like this, it actually shrinks a bit in size. He actually seems smaller, but it definitely still has that same kind of nimbleness and flexibility that you would expect of a tabaxi or a Leonin. Rather than being covered in armor like the previous ones you've seen, though, he is still covered in black and red robes, but they seem more belted and tight around him, and he's, rather than a helmet, he wears more of a mask with a single visor split across it, where a glowing red from his eyes comes. The blades that were previously in his hands seem to almost extend from his forearms, almost as if they're part of him. And I'll quickly shift him over. And he lunges towards you with lightning speed. I'll get you to make me a initiative roll, but actually, you know what? It's late now. It's 11:30. We'll end it here. As we start
Baby!
Smoke is a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Saying soon he's going to be smoke on the water. I'm going to go down here now.
I mean, technically smoke on the magma, but you know.
Smoke on the magma.
He's going to be splattered as well.
Whenever I hear True Smoke, I just think it's like a Cheech and Chong film.
Okay. This was awesome, Ash. Thank you for running such a wonderful session. I really gotta go.
Yeah,
So-
fair
Oh,
enough.
good. It is very late for us here.
Yeah.
Do a run.
Do a scooch if you guts to go, because some of us have work in the morning.
I don't tomorrow because I worked yesterday. No, oh, and it's only like 12:30 for me. PM.
So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I hope you had fun. I know we did. We'll be back hopefully next week to conclude this fight so that Storm can finally actually hopefully speak with her god.
Yeah!
Well, anyone can speak to Storm's god. It's whether the god talks back.
Fair point.
Fair.
Doesn't seem to be in a
basically.
position to do so at the moment.
So
But then
we,
how
we,
did it get?
we run down to the center chamber and we go right. That's the way we need to go, right?
We'll find out next time on Xel'nari. But yes, thank you all for joining us. We will find someone to raid so that we can get some sleepy buys because we do need it.
Oh yeah, rating. That's the thing. Okay, let's see who's on.
And thank you to all who raided us tonight. It is always good to see
thank you.
new and familiar faces. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoy it. We do have all of our previous episodes up on YouTube, and I believe some of them are still also up on Twitch. So if you are curious on how the story has developed into this point, please go back over and have a look. Unfortunately, Zoe has had to leave, but she runs our Tuesday night games where we play Stars Without Number, a sci-fi based setting where things have kind of reached a dramatic climax, and I'm very curious to see where things go from here. We just cut an entire fleet of ships in half, so things have gotten a bit out of hand.
And we've been reunited with a lot of our crew and friends and family who we unintentionally left for a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yes, thank you for
because
joining us. Let's find some of the raid.
space-time continuum wibbly wobbly woozy doozies. You know, that
having
kind
a
of stuff.
look.
Yeah.
I think a bit late for
Having
our
a look, and I
normal
can't really
raids.
find anyone. I want to say Captain Robot, but it's a rerun. There's none of our
Later than we
usuals.
normally are. isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our usual spots.
I was
so
looking
stuff.
at Heaven and Hell because it's Gamers Geeks, but that's all I think in Russian.
Oh no.
We'll check. It's in something.
Well, there is cast exposition on
Viewers.
session 28.
Yeah, that seems good.
Cast
Give them a bit of
Expedition.
love.
Oh yeah. I looked at that one. Let's have a little browse.
I'm gonna head off. That was
No worries.
a lot of fun, Ash. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, that challenge wasn't everything I expected, but oh god, it was a good one. It was a good one, and there was no way I would have passed that without it from my friends.
Yeah.
And I will be saying so as much. This
Okay,
is
they
all-
just said interplanar nipples. I think we should rate these people.
Soul.
These are our
Soul.
people.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right,
I
thank you
love.
everyone for joining us. Let's go to our screen and raid.
I love though that is the
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 defining
defining.
quality.
Yeah.
We know ourselves well.
Yeah, we know what we're
But
about.
it's nice when they have like multiple tags, so I can kind of get an idea. They only have English, but they seem decent for what I'm
Let's give it a
seeing.
raid then.
All right, let's go.
Do it.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for coming checking us out. Thanks for staying.
It's been a long one, but
Yeah.
later. Apologies. Time zones and illness.
Yeah, we usually end a little bit earlier than this, but getting caught up with life, work, things like that, and etc., we kind of ran a little late. But it was a good time. We had a good stream. There were, in fact, hot tubs involved.
There were hot
not,
tubs.
not actual hot tubs, but, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye now. We're gonna go raid Cast Explosion.
Yeah.
Yay! Exposition.
Exposition.
I can
It looks
read.
so close to explosion.
I can
it's
read.
so close.
And we'll catch you in the next stream. Have a good night, guys.
Ciao.